Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. That's Sancho. I'm Blue Jay Santi because I know that you probably had some BS pre-rehearsed about how bad the Chargers are. It doesn't matter because the Blue Jays are in the World Series and Jay is going on to Saturday night's main event. It's a good time for the Jays. Sancho, it's good to be back. I've missed you 2 weeks. Did you miss me, brother? I didn't miss you a lick.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
I held it down.
You did.
I held it down here in the Wrestling School Patreon. We had it. We had a tight ship. We were sailing. We had some new things. We missed you too, though, Santi.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back, man. Like I love going on vacation because I don't go on it very often. But like I think it's a workaholic thing in me. Like I eventually start to like get the itch. That's why towards the end of the trip, I'm like I'm gonna live stream. Now the YouTube videos were happening every single day, but there's an itch that I just so desperately want to scratch, and it's live streaming. There is something addictive about live streaming. It's a different environment, like being able to get like the instant communication with viewers through the live streaming platform is something that a YouTube comment section will just never be able to replicate, and that's what I really miss, live streaming and podcasting too.
And did you miss Tokyo once you left it? Did you feel I want to live here forever? I love Japan.
Dude, it made me definitely want to learn Japanese.
Sure.
I'm not going to, but it made me want to learn Japanese. I think the reason I won't is because I don't think that I'll go back. Not because I don't want to, because I thought it was an awesome country, but because I'm of the mind like, all right, I saw it. Next thing, next country. Where else am I gonna go? I would love to go back maybe at some point for a work-related reason. Maybe find excuses to go. Like maybe, okay, Wrestle Kingdom. Now it's just an excuse to go to Japan on a yearly basis because I really liked it. But like for a vacation, a getaway with Sarah, I think I'd rather look for new countries, new experiences, new cultures, new languages, new food. But it was good enough where I'm like, I might find an excuse to go every year. And that could be Wrestle Kingdom.
How come you didn't go to Japan or pro wrestling? Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, I basically did the Tokyo Muscle Girls. Yeah.
Like Japan's like full of rich culture, wonderful temples, beautiful landscapes, beautiful cityscapes, Shibuya crossing, all the kind of fun vibes. And the first thing you always lead off to every single conversation I've seen you talk about Japan is about the Japanese muscle mommies. Every single one, Santi. That's your first foot out the door.
Sancho, that is their greatest export. I don't know if you know this. It's Sony and Muscle Girls. That is what Japan is known for. Nintendo's number 3. It's Sony, Muscle Girls, Nintendo over there. That is the true Japanese experience. Sure, you could go look at a shrine. You could go to Shibuya Crossing. You could go make yourself feel bad about everybody having better fashion than you everywhere Fuji. You go. Yeah. Mount Fuji. Yo, Mount Fuji no-sold me. Mount Fuji did not show up. Mount Fuji said, that's not going to work for me, brother. When it comes... Mount Fuji sucks, man. Sarah and I have a forever hatred for Mount Fuji now. But yeah, man, Muscle Girls is where it's at. I got slapped. They did the muscle elbow drop on me. That was really good. I was the only one that was able to do the 50 reps of chest press to get the free 10 muscle dollars so that I could get slapped because that's their economy, muscle dollars. It's a good time, man. You know what was interesting, man? Everyone there, because it's like a show. It's not like a regular bar. There was like 15 of us. And that's important to know because that's an odd number. Everyone was there as a couple. The boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband, the wife, whatever it might be, and everyone was just having a good old time, right? Oh, this is such a different, unique thing. No one is treating this like creeps. This is just good old wholesome fun. And everyone is from like Australia. There was some like a couple from Finland, us Canadians. Everyone's like a traveler foreigner because this Muscle Girls thing is becoming quite the tourist attraction.
It's on TripAdvisor, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
So that's 14 of us, 7 couples. There was one local Tokyo Japanese dude that you just know he was there to get his rocks off,
Come
Sancho.
on.
You just know that he was there for the less wholesome reasons.
Come on, why are you ruining his vibe? He's there. He's a paying customer.
He is a patron, not of ours. Maybe he is. Hey, if you're a patron, you know what? Hey, if you want to just spend your Sunday nights getting your butt kicked by muscle mummies and taking photos with them for your own personal enjoyment, who am I to stop you, brother? You do you.
Hey, you gotta find a way to earn your own wrestling is cool bucks here.
Dude. We should start doing that. We should charge to slap people at wrestling shows. And
oil up.
Enough muscle dollars. Sorry, enough wrestling is cool dollars. We get Sancho on the thumbnail. It's the equivalent of $37,000 US to get you on the thumbnail.
Yes, let's do it. I'm so sad that you told Denise not to put me on the thumbnail. I did a lot for you, okay? I took over your Raw reviews. I took over your PLE reviews. I took over your Raw show with Denise. And now you're back, and you're gonna sandbag me again, aren't you?
Sancho,
back
listen,
to your old ways. You're gonna kick me to the curb like good old Triple H does LA Knight, huh? That's what you're doing here, right? The big star comes in, gunk, gunk, and out goes LA Knight, who deserves the spot at Saturday's main event. And no, you stupid Jey Uso. Remember who's banned from the Glaze Factory? Remember who's banned? It's Jay and Jimmy. Don't care. They both look the same. Both banned. And lo and behold, make it make sense, Santi, that all of a sudden the number one contender who was pinned by CM Punk for the number one contender against Seth Rollins wins the Battle Royal and becomes the number one contender for the vacated title against CM Punk at Saturday's main event on November 1st.
Wow. Still, nothing's changed. Still a little cry baby bitch boy about LA Knight. You knew it wasn't going to happen. You knew.
I believed.
Dude, there comes a time where a man must grow up, Sancho. There comes a time where a man must see the light and live in the real world as opposed to this fantasy world. Aren't you tired of LARPing that in this fantasy cosplay of LA Knight actually becoming world champion? Haven't you realized that all that is just a Renaissance fair of people pretending to be LA Knight fans and people pretending that LA Knight is world champion? It's just not going to happen. It's time to wake up. It's time to smell the coffee and realize that it's about main event Jey Uso, Sancho. It's time. Sancho, jump on the main event train.
Team Yap for life, brother. Team Yap for life.
I won't lie. I was pretty bummed that Jey Uso won that because you're right. Like, okay, cool. Like, he literally got pinned by Punk the previous week. You know who didn't get pinned by Punk the previous week? LA Knight. I'm with you.
Who pinned Seth Rollins? LA Knight.
Well,
just because he got torched by CM Punk, that doesn't mean he does not deserve at least a title shot.
Oh,
and they set that up perfectly to have CM Punk.
I agree. I think that they should have paid off CM Punk versus LA Knight. Like, even if you weren't going to pull the trigger on LA Knight winning the world championship, like, finish off that storyline, that little backstage beef where they always interrupt each other's interviews with Jackie Redmond. Like, let's pay it off. There's way more going on between CM Punk and LA Knight than there is between CM Punk and Jey Uso, aside from the little Roman line. I would have preferred them to pay off the LA Knight CM Punk saga. But Sancho, this is the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. You can, of course, be getting this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else over on patreon.com/SantiZap. And just so you know, while I was gone, those podcast episodes that we pre-recorded, those were also early on the Patreon. So even when I'm gone, I'm not really gone because the content train continues to go chugga 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 chugga. We're not, dude. This has been 2 years we've been fighting over trains making chugga or dugga sounds.
Did you go on the bullet train? You go. Welcome back, Santi. Come on.
Such a stupid joke. Such a stupid joke. 3 days
You know
earlier than
you
everywhere else on the
miss me.
planet.
You know you
Over
miss
on
me. You know
patreon.com
you
slash
wanted me.
santizap. Over there, you're going to get the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, all with footage so you can see exactly what it is that we're talking about. PLE reviews, the currently ongoing series like the John Cena Championship Series, the currently ongoing Ryback in review, which has to be coming to an end, I imagine, sometime soon. The match clubs, a whole host of videos and series that you will never find on YouTube or other free feeds. So go check it out, patreon.com/santizap. It's just $5. It does not cost a tremendous amount of money. We understand that not everybody can pay it. That's why the podcast is still available on free feeds. But if you can afford to give us 5 doubloons, I promise you we will make it worth it. Just so you guys know too, we will be doing movie night. Sancho, I know that I originally agreed to Friday, but in case I go to Blue Jays game 1, I'm going to cancel it. We'll talk more about it because of, Blue Jays being in the series was not part of the
They're not
equation.
gonna win. Dodgers in 4.
Dude, I don't want to hear it right now.
Now
I'm over the
do
moon.
you know who you're going up against? Do you know who
Yes.
you're messing with? Do
Yes.
you know how many Hall of Famers are sitting on the Dodgers lineup? Do you know the pitching lineup they have? Do you know of a man named Shohei Ohtani?
Sancho, I want you to remember what city this is. This is the city that sold their soul to the devil to be able to take out Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors. You think I haven't heard this bullshit before? You think you guys have a chance against the legendary Golden State Warriors? In 6 we took them out. You think we can? Because we will. If there's a team that can beat the Dodgers, if there's a desperate enough team to beat the Dodgers, it is the Toronto Blue Jays, pal. It is the Blue Jays. Yeet. We're gonna win, man. Believe. No one believed that we were gonna beat the Warriors, and we did. No one believes we're gonna beat the Dodgers, and we're going to.
I don't think you could stop Shohei Ohtani, man.
Dude, that guy was everywhere. I'd be like, hey, I'd like to buy this bowl of ramen. They'd give me my bowl of ramen. He's like, here's your commemorative Shohei Ohtani napkin. Like he was everything. Shohei Ohtani was in Japan. But anyways, I was gonna say the next movie night is See No Evil because it's Halloween. And we want to watch a horror movie with you guys. That's for the $15 patrons. Those are for the extra super elite tier. You don't have to be part of that. If you just want the content, the $5 not only gets your foot in the door, it gets you all of the content. But movie night, that's for the ones that have access to the Wrestling is Cool Patreon exclusive Discord at the $15 tier. But yeah, we'll be watching See No Evil together.
Speaking of which, name another place that puts Shelton Benjamin versus Maven on a pedestal like we do.
Dude,
nobody.
Dude, we put that match over.
Nobody. That's right.
It ended in like the best possible way for all the wrong possible reasons. But trust me, come over to the Patreon, watch Shelton Benjamin versus Maven, and that alone will sell you on becoming a patron for life. 100%. That video alone is worth your $5. All right. Well, Sancho, I know you've already been crying and whining, so let's dive deeper into this.
Don't treat me like Drew McIntyre. Yeah,
this LA Knight. Jey Uso is the number 1 contender. We're gonna be getting CM Punk versus Jey Uso, but that's not even like really like the top story. Like the top story is the top story is that the world title had to get vacated. That's the real number 1 story. I think we should maybe start talking about that. The world title has been officially vacated, making the second Money in the Bank cash-in winner to vacate this year. The first one being Naomi, the second one, of course, now being Seth Rollins. Both who had amongst the greatest cash-ins of all time, which is just such a shame that both of them have had to vacate the championship. Initial gut feelings about Seth Rollins having to vacate the championship. I made a YouTube video kind of talking about my thoughts and feelings about the impact of a Seth Rollins vacated championship and what it means to WWE and booking moving forward.
Well, I feel like this is very equivalent to Liv Morgan going down with an injury, oddly enough, a shoulder injury, the same thing. But there were so many things latched on to Seth Rollins that we're going to see the repercussions everywhere. And not only on the upper card, but in the mid card, and especially going on with the title that involves Seth Rollins. I always said this, Santi, that is Seth Rollins' title. The heavyweight title is Seth Rollins. There's no other champion I can think of when someone holds that title. It's Seth Rollins. The only thing I feel that it's a travesty about the entire thing is that they had to sacrifice the Vision. Now it doesn't feel like in the future, and we look back in historic, the books and whatnot, you're not going to think of the Vision as a faction, and that's a bummer.
It's true. The Vision may as well not have ever been a thing, really. Like, if you think about it, they didn't really get to accomplish a heck of a whole lot as a faction. Their time together was basically just, hey, let's make Seth Rollins world champion. And that's kind of about it, because sure, Bronson Reed made a little bit of a name for himself here, but the Braun Breaker breakout won't ever be credited to his time in the Vision. It will be credited to when he decided to leave the Vision, if anything. It's just so poorly timed, right? Like, if you want to look at like the short term and what it impacts, it obviously impacts the Vision. It impacted the tag team division because it seemed pretty clear like they were going to be putting in the Bronze into the tag team division. They ended up going in a different direction with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee winning the tag titles instead of what was probably clear as day meant to be Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So that, to me, is probably going to put the tag team division back for a while, because we saw how great putting the tag team titles on the Bloodline was, whether it's the iteration of the Usos or the of Bloodline 2.0. It just makes the tag titles main event adjacent, and now they're not going to get that, unfortunately. AJ Styles, you could say, is main event, but he's not in the main event, unfortunately, as of the making of this video. It obviously impacts Saturday night's main event. We were going to be getting CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. It impacts the long-term viability of what we were planning on getting at WrestleMania 42, because I think a lot of people were expecting Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. That's probably off the table. Maybe it impacts the Royal Rumble winner. If Seth Rollins was going to be going in as World Heavyweight Champion, does the Rumble winner now have to change because we don't have Seth Rollins going in as World Heavyweight Champion? Because I honestly thought that Roman Reigns was going to be winning this Rumble. He's so popular in Saudi Arabia. It's the first Rumble in Saudi Arabia. And it would have been an easy setup for Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a singles environment at WrestleMania. The other long-term stuff that it impacts is Braun Breaker, right? As opposed to this gradual increase to the main event, now it's more or less spawning him in there instantly. How is that going to change our perception of Braun Breaker? Is this too quick? Is he good enough to be in there right now? There's questions like that. I will say, I think it's a little bit peculiar that WWE did such a poor job of following Braun Breaker taking out Seth Rollins. He didn't say a single word about it. Paul Heyman barely said a single word about it. They tried to basically just use this episode of Monday Night Raw to retcon everything. Oh, it was you guys. You guys are the reason Seth Rollins is vacating the championship. It's because of you guys that he has to have surgery, which, by the way, I went back and watched the Vicious Attack. It was one spear, one tsunami. People have survived significantly worse. Like, literally, they've taken so much worse and been there on the next episode of Monday Night Raw. But what I'm supposed to now believe that this is so vicious, such a monumental, monstrous attack that Seth Rollins is out, I don't buy it. But I get it. They're trying to retcon. They're trying to make things fall together. But I think in that regard, they're trying too hard to put unnecessary heat on the Vision when the heat is they turned on Rollins. That's the heat. And they didn't follow up on that. That's what I wanted them to follow up on. And there were barely any words said about it. I also thought it was kind of funky and weird that they had him come out, and by him I mean Braun Breaker, with the World Heavyweight Championship, looking like $1 million, only to say, nah, you're not even in the Battle Royal. You don't even get to be in this division for a while. So it feels like they're almost like artificially elongating the wait for Braun Breaker. It's like, okay, if you want to artificially elongate the wait for Braun Breaker, why did you pull the trigger on Braun Breaker to even begin with? If you pull the trigger on Braun Breaker, to me, it's because you're ready for him today. Don't you think?
Well, it's like they open up Pandora's box. You can't put the cat back in the bag, dude.
That's what they try to do. That's what they try to do. Like, oh, we're not ready. Not yet. Not yet. You can't be in the Battle Royal. It feels like they're trying to put it back. It's like, no, dude, you let the Dementors out. They're out there eating all the gruel.
Yeah, you can't do that. I agree with you, because after that, they try to make it feel like it was part of the plan all along.
Dude, they said they colluded. They were together. No, go back and watch it. Bronson Reed's like, yo, what? And then Braun Breaker had to be like, hey, man, let me sell you on this real quick. You got a quick second to talk about this? Hey, get in line. And then Bronson Reed's like, okay, fine, sure. They tried to make it seem like this was the plan all along, which it wasn't. I get it. Retconning is necessary, but I think that they tried a little too hard here.
Only if it wasn't if it was poorly executed, right? If there's something went horribly wrong in Braun Breaker, or if we didn't like it, but we loved it.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, let's go. We're on this track. Of course, it's fast forwarded. It's like 6 months ahead of schedule, but here we are. We're gonna go ahead and roll with it. But like I said, it feels like it's they're diminishing the return of the heel turn. It's the same thing with the New Day. They made a big heel turn, or in this case, kicking out Seth Rollins. They made a big heel turn against Big E. And the return wasn't there. The follow-up wasn't there. The execution wasn't there. They plan the shock moments, Santi, and they don't follow through with the shock moments to build on that. It's like a wasted momentum for Braun Breaker. And you're right. He looked like $1 million rocking out that thing with that belt. He looked great. He looked perfect for him. And then no interference in the Battle Royal. I know they had a moment backstage like, oh, we got something planned for later at Saturday Night's Main Event. But it does feel like it took a lot of the goodwill of going forward of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You talked about everybody else. I feel Bronson Reed's going to be on the outside looking in soon. I feel like Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker is a natural fit together. Braun Breaker does sort of need a mouthpiece for now, but at the same time, Bronson Reed, I felt like he was doing his own thing. And again, this is the dude that took out Seth Rollins and didn't really need anybody to build up who he was. I don't know where Bronson Reed's going to go if he's not planned to be a tag team champion anymore. But regardless, dude, it's a bummer we lose out Seth Rollins. We're going to see how underappreciated Rollins is now that he's gone.
Yeah, I think it will become a very clear omission from the roster. Like WWE is just better when Seth Rollins is there. It's the same when like Roman is there, right? But the difference is that we've learned to work our minds around Roman not being there.
Yes.
But not yet with Seth. Yeah, we've accepted that. But with Seth, he's such an institution of our weekly viewings that he's going to be sorely missed. Like when Cody wasn't around for filming Street Fighter, like SmackDown was bad on a week-by-week basis. Now, mind you, Raw has been good, but we're only in this episode of Raw was fine. But eventually we will get to the point where enough things will snowball where we will miss Seth Rollins a tremendous amount. But yeah, man, I'm a little bummed and disappointed at the lack of execution on the Braun Breaker stuff. Because, like, if you really think about it, like, these guys, again, based on their story, they colluded. They were bold enough to take out the leader of the Vision, to take out Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, but they're just going to let Adam Pearce just alpha them and be like, nah, you guys aren't. You really, like, I have a hard time believing that they aren't going to get in the Battle Royal, that they aren't going to force themselves in there, that they aren't going to ruin the Battle Royal. I get it. They're trying to hold off on the Braun Breaker thing at a bigger show. They want to crown him at a bigger moment. If that's the case, you just shouldn't have done the Braun Breaker attacking Seth Rollins as early as you did. You should have held off on it if you plan on holding off on Braun Breaker.
I thought they were going to do like a big X on his title. I thought they were going to do the classic trope of this is the real title, and they were going to give up and do another title, and then they're going to have title versus title. I thought that was a whole thing going forward, because you're right. Why would Braun Breaker give up something so easily?
Just because he said please. Be nice.
Being nice goes a long way. The one thing I'm hoping for is that we do get something at Saturday Night's Main Event for the Brawnies. They have to do something. And that's why I thought LA Knight was the perfect person to put in there, because if something would have unfolded, then you could have been like, whoa, LA Knight, are you part of the Vision now? Are you doing these things? They helped you on the title. Are you a heel now? Versus what we got with Jey Uso. Now, let me make this clear, Santi. I understand why Jey, okay? You got Roman, you got the idea of Jimmy. I understand that trio, the understanding of, hey, Roman has been telling Jey to do his own thing and stand on his own, and the split between Jimmy and Jey is always good, but we've been down that path before, and we knew going into that Battle Royal that Jey was going to screw over Jimmy, and he did. But why take that storyline over LA Knight? Is the question. It's a simple question. It's a simple question, and I know Roman's the answer because Roman's going to be the bigger draw. If they were ever going to do a WrestleMania without Seth Rollins, you're going to ask yourself, Santi, what's the bigger draw? Definitely Roman versus CM Punk. If that's
Sure.
on the table, if you want to get to that point of Jey Uso and he can't take down CM Punk, and then Jey Uso and CM Punk and Roman and Jimmy, they're involved in this kind of nebulous storyline, then all of a sudden it ends up becoming CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Sure, I've always been in the camp that they're trying to groom Jey Uso to be ready for to be the next big thing in the bloodline because Roman's gone all the time. But the question is, can Jey Uso step up to the plate and do that? Don't know. Saturday night's main event is going to be a clear factor of what Jey Uso we're going to get going forward because literally, Santi, the dude was holding a baby going into the Battle Royal. All right. The
Dude,
dude's
what a
holding babies.
liability. What a liability to hold someone else's baby while eating.
Never hold a baby while eating, I always say. That's always a dangerous thing to do. But that's like the question mark going forward. And I know people are saying, like, well, Triple H doesn't see anything in LA Knight. I just think that WWE has a bigger infatuation, and there's someone in that writer's room that absolutely loves the bloodline and absolutely loves Jey Uso and Roman, and they don't want to give that up just yet when they could have tried and experimented with an LA Knight run for a little while.
I feel like if you're willing to, because it sounds like what you basically
I'm
said
coping here, by the way. I'm coping here.
Yeah, that like, okay, you understand that the Jey Uso thing, because it leads to Roman, is bigger than LA Knight at the moment. If that's the case, like we're talking about what I see basically as a throwaway Saturday night's main event. The only reason it's not a throwaway is because we have a vacant title. So we're going to get a guaranteed world champion. But it's still not even a B tier show. It's a C tier show for the most part, Saturday night's main event. Why not use that for LA Knight and CM Punk and save Jey Uso and CM Punk at Survivor Series War Games, a bigger show and a stadium? If you're of the mind that Jey and CM Punk is the bigger draw, I'm not saying that WWE is saying that, Sports Illustrated is saying that. I feel like Saturday night's main event was the perfect place to run an LA Knight. It's such low consequences, such a low investment to put LA Knight in Saturday night's main event. I feel like they made the wrong call here.
Is this the same place?
It usually is. It depends on what you have to say.
The Brawnies are not going to let anybody win a title. It's still going to be vacated after Saturday night's main event. There's going to be a do not finish.
That'll suck.
You said it yourself. Why crown a champion at Saturday night's main event of this magnitude?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Maybe they end up doing like a big, I don't know,
Fatal
4-way at Survivor Series War Games with the Bronze, Jey, and CM Punk. Still no LA Knight.
Yeah, at least LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, and CM Punk. That would be fire, actually. That would be not bad. I like when commentary when CM Punk was on there going like, I hate triple threats. I don't want a triple threat. I just want a singles match. Just give me a singles match. I that's what my gut tells me. Like, if it's not in the cards, it wasn't planned to have someone crowned at Saturday night's main event. I think they're gonna hold off. The Brownies are gonna get involved, and we're gonna get a do not finish, and we're gonna get a bad tasting kind of moment. Because what are they gonna save the best moment in Saturday night's main event this year? The retirement of John Cena. So let's just get a dud of a Saturday night's main event going into Mania. Yeah, man, that jet lag. Woo, you're wilted so quickly, little pumpkin.
Dude, I'm already pumpkining.
Oh, no.
I will survive, though. I will survive. If I have to survive, I got to get my internal clock back in order, Your Honor. I do declare.
What time are you waking up and going to bed now that you're on Japanese time?
Well, when I came back, I didn't go to bed the first night till 5, and then 4, and then 3. Last night was the earliest I went to bed at 2.
In the morning or 5 p.m. or 4 p.m.?
In the morning.
5 a.m. you went to bed?
Yeah.
What were you doing at 5 a.m.?
Absolutely nothing. Just staring into the abyss because I wasn't tired and there was nothing going on in the house. Dude, jet lag's a bitch. It sucks. It's awful. I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10 on TripAdvisor.
When it comes crashing down.
Jet lag must pose. Okay, so Jey Uso being the number one contender here, as much as we're willing to admit there's a bigger story going on there, he's still not even the climax of this story. It's CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And that in itself doesn't, to me, speak this volumes of confidence that Jey Uso is going to be this guy up at bat, that he's going to be the one taking over the bloodline, as you might be suggesting, if it still always goes through Roman Reigns. You know, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago where I just used the simple line of, well, he's just not Roman. And I continue to say that line. He's just not Roman. He could go out there and betray his brother and Fortnite emo while his brother is screaming at him and he's celebrating and literally making deadpan eye contact with him, doing his yeets as he celebrates. But Sancho, he's still not Roman. And that's fine that he's not Roman, but the problem is that they're trying to make him Roman. They're trying to make him be like Roman, but I just see not Roman. I see somebody that's not as good as Roman, that doesn't act as well as Roman, that doesn't cut as good of promos as Roman, that doesn't have the same star power as Roman. So if you're trying to make him Roman, I don't think it's crazy for me to continuously compare him to Roman, and the comparison doesn't look great, brother. It just doesn't look great.
Jay's there.
He is there. You're right. That is the big advantage. Jay is there. Roman is not. But with Seth Rollins gone, do you see it maybe being CM Punk Roman Reigns singles match at WrestleMania? What is the Roman Reigns plan now? Because I think you and I were of the mind that it was going to be Roman and Seth. Is it going to be Roman and Punk? Is it going to be Roman and Breakker? What are we looking at here?
You remember when I said a long time ago, we kind of had a segment on the pod where I was like, is Roman Reigns the new Undertaker? Is the new Undertaker where he's just going to show up at Mania and have a big highlight, big match, and that really is, you know, is just the guy that shows up once a year type of vibe as an attraction, and people are like, he's nowhere on the same level as the Hall of Famer Undertaker, better working. I'm like, no, you're not seeing my point. Yeah. This is the point right here.
That wasn't me saying that. That was the viewers. I agreed with you.
Thank you. You get used to my logic sometimes, Santi. You know, you see. You have to like kind of wait and see, you know. It may taste bad at first, but then later it tastes delicious.
This piece of poo's not that bad.
But Roman, yes, and CM Punk is the thing. Is the one thing I would say would draw people to Vegas again. I would consider, if it wasn't in Vegas, I would go, oh, Roman versus CM Punk. That'd be kind of fire. That'd be kind of good to see again. With the possibility of Jey Uso maybe turning on Roman and lingering in the background, that'd be kind of lit.
Sure. Do you bring Paul Heyman back into the equation, or is Paul Heyman fully into
fully
Braun Breaker? Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's another retcon, by the way. They really tried to instantly sever the ties of Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, right? Where they had Paul Heyman cut this promo about how like he couldn't shoulder the burden. He couldn't do this. Seth Rollins sucks. He's ugly. Right. He's stupid. Yeah. I don't like him. And then they had Becky Lynch be like, he never trusted you in the first place. He's surprised it took you this long to turn on him. He didn't turn on him. He just kind of followed what Braun Breaker was doing. Actually, he was shocked. He kind of got in between, but then he was going to get murdered. So they tried to like feed us this story on Raw that Paul Heyman once again betrayed somebody else, that he's on to the next thing. But that's just not how they delivered that moment. But they're trying to tell us that that's how that moment went. that Seth didn't love Paul Heyman, which like again, I feel like it's tough to tell that story when Seth isn't there. They're trying to put words in Seth's mouth through Becky Lynch, and it's just not the same. It doesn't land the way that I think they want it to.
They're going to turn you into a tinfoil hat guy. You're going to be like, no, you don't understand. You don't remember. Seth Rollins was the one there. That's you. That's you. It's true. They gaslit us, dude. They tried to very gaslit us there into believing Paul Heyman was the adorable Oracle the entire time.
The adorable Oracle. What a great name that was.
Yeah, that was good. Name. But what a great promo from Becky Lynch, though. By far, was some of her best work. It was really good.
You know what? And I said this on the Monday Night Raw review, available exclusively on Patreon.com. I said this was an amazing segment. The only thing I would have changed was like the order. I found it odd that they had her do this when she was battered and beaten after having to get herself disqualified against Maxine Dupree.
Good point.
It should have been on her way out to the ring, right?
Yes.
Because then it could have I could have maybe told myself like she's not fully in her head going up against Maxine Dupree, right?
Yes.
You're right. Like there's a psychological piece missing because she's so focused on her husband Paul Heyman and everything that's going on,
That's
and
what I said. Yeah.
that's what leads to her losing her mind and just saying screw it, get myself disqualified, get myself out of here. So I would have just swapped the order of the moments, but it was still a great moment.
Because I was wondering, it's like, why are we not following it up with Becky Lynch? Because it would lead into the reason why she's not locked in for Maxine. That's what I thought too. You and I, same page.
Look at this. Look at this. I go to Japan.
Across the world.
I eat a bunch of Japanese food, and then
Favorite thing.
here I am. Favorite
thing.
thing. Ooh.
You didn't get the good ramen? You didn't go to that place where you had
Dude,
to take
okay.
a ticket?
Yeah, I did. Dude, I did
Nice.
everything that there is to do. My answer is going to be some crazy shit. 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is the best cuisine in all of Japan. It's obviously not, but the convenience of having such like restaurant quality food in their 7-Eleven was shocking. The vast difference in our 7-Eleven's quality. Dude, there was a 7-Eleven I went to where I was attended to by a VTuber. Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't have any humans working. Instead, it was a screen, and it was a VTuber.
An animated YouTuber.
An animated YouTuber. Yeah, but like there was somebody there.
Yeah.
Somebody in some office somewhere. They were a VTuber. It was a dude. The VTuber avatar was like a girl. I'm like, all right. And he goes, "Do you speak English or Japanese?" I'm like, "Oh, English." And then they started speaking to me in English and like guiding me through like the self-checkout process. It was neat. 7-Eleven rocks in Japan. Like I can't explain to you how convenient it is. That is an actual convenience store. You know what I came to realize about North American convenience stores, Sancho? And
Sure.
And to me, this opened up my third eye. Our convenience stores are only convenient when we have to do something inconvenient, like putting in gas. If you smoke cigarettes, like needing to go buy cigarettes. If you are out of batteries, this inconvenient thing is happening, so I'm going to go to the convenience store to solve this inconvenient thing. It's only convenient when there's inconveniences going on. In Japan, they're literally just convenient at all times. They're there. You go into a freaking library. It's like, oh, there's a 7-Eleven here. I don't know why, but sure. Japanese convenience stores, man, they're like a century ahead of us. That's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk about convenience stores. You know who else is out?
Who's out?
Jacob Fatu, man. What's going on in WWE right now? We're dude, Rhea Ripley's gonna be out. Rhea Ripley's out for a while. She got her nose busted. We have Seth Rollins out, Naomi out, and now, folks, Jacob Fatu, who was allegedly in line. And again, you could take all this with a grain of salt. Wrestling Observer newsletter, potentially be winning the WWE Championship as early as Survivor Series War Games. I never bought that rumor, but at the very least, clearly their intention was to maybe run Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu maybe as early as Survivor Series War Games. When Jacob Fatu is out for what seemingly is a long time. They made it sound like it's like beyond WrestleMania type of deal. They even had him. Initially, I'm like, is that brain matter? Turns out it was teeth on the ground, bloodied everywhere. They really had to make a show of it, right? Because Jacob Fatu is a guy that tanks multiple finishers and then just shakes it off. All gas, no brakes, and then keeps going. So the only way to make you believe that he's actually going to be out for months is what looked like a Dexter crime scene. Is the only way to make you believe that Jacob Fatu actually is so hurt that he's going to be out for a while. Is they may as well have put like the chalk borderline around them to say they killed Jacob Fatu. That's why he's going to be out for months.
I'm not looking forward to the whodunit. I don't think they do the whodunit correctly. Like we saw it with Jade Cargill in the car. They kind of like did it for a little bit and then they just let Jade Cargill be forgotten. And I'm hoping Jacob Fatu isn't forgotten. I hope people keep talking about Jacob as much as possible because it's late 2026 he's supposed to come back.
Yeah. You're right. WWE with their whodunit, sometimes they're very good, sometimes they're not. I still remember like the very good one, SummerSlam 2002 build of like who attacked Shawn Michaels. It was you, Hunter. You damn right it was me, Sean. And then it leads to the awesome video package. Anyway, but the last one, I think a lot of people have rose-tinted glasses because the execution was really good. Jade Cargill coming back at the Elimination Chamber.
That was great.
That was awesome. But like the whodunit mystery in the lead-up was bad because they basically they tried to basically pretend like it was the 80s or 90s where like things couldn't have been solved by a single text, you know, like Jade Cargill couldn't have just texted Bianca Belair, "Hey dog, it was Naomi," you know,
right? Exactly. She knew the whole time. Yeah,
exactly. So part of the like who done it that doesn't work in WWE is that like the person that knows who done it usually is the person that got attacked, but the only way for us to believe or to have this mystery is for the person that got attacked to be gone, right?
What would have worked for Jade is if she had a promo while she's recovering saying, "I know who did it, and I'm going to get you when it matters the most." And then we were like, "Oh,
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, and so it makes sense why she attacks Naomi at Chamber because that's when it mattered the most for Naomi. But I mean, they do that with Jacob Fatu. Be like, "I know who got me. Don't worry, I'll take care of it when I get back." That way, it's like, all right. We don't have to, if you're not going to focus on who did it, then let's put it to rest. The crazy thing is, Santi, people are like, I think Cody did it. I'm like, oh, wait.
Yeah, that's like, crazy talk.
Slow down. I know Cody was on a binge for a second there where he came out and wrestled in his loafers and it was a little weird and he got a DQ himself. And I was like, okay, this episode of SmackDown, I'm just going to pretend didn't happen because they're never going to follow up on this whole Cody SmackDown running around in a suit, DQing, eye gouging, back scratching, Drew McIntyre. We're not going to focus on it. I feel like it was such a pivot of an episode that they had nothing else to do. So they threw this Cody at being a heel and hoping that maybe you would forget about it. It just feels too weird for me because they make so much money as babyface Cody.
But did you, like me, think there was a chance that they were about to do the rumored WrestlePalooza finish on this episode of SmackDown? I thought
where Drew would win?
Yeah, where Randy would come out and accidentally cost Cody Rhodes, like to attack Drew but accidentally hits Cody. That was the original planned finish for WrestlePalooza, and Drew McIntyre would walk out as the world champion. Mostly Sancho
proposed by Cody.
Yes,
by Cody Rhodes. By the way,
yes. With all of these supposed creative changes, shout out Chad GPT, I was like, dude, maybe they actually pulled the trigger on this now, because I was like, no way that Drew McIntyre loses to a dude in dress shoes, right? There's no way. So it seemed to me like the perfect opportunity to take the title off of Cody Rhodes, like an unprepared Cody. He was seeing red. He wasn't even in his ring gear. Accidentally gets attacked by Randy Orton. Oh my God, what a big shock. I genuinely thought they sold me on it that Drew McIntyre was going to win the world championship. I do these polls pre-match where people can like bet their channel points on Twitch. And usually it's like so lopsided because you can usually predict who's going to win matches. It was 90% to Drew McIntyre. People said, dude, there's no way that Drew loses to, and Drew did win, by the way, technically, but there was no way that Drew was going to lose to a guy wrestling in his suit. It did now, you know, once the dust settled, it's like, okay, yeah, this is just like a, oh God, we lost our main event. Let's do something on the fly kind of deal. But for a split second, I thought that maybe Drew McIntyre was actually not going to get screwed.
You're drinking too much Sancho water, dude.
I know. I got a little bit of glaze on my shoulder. I was like, ugh.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. That we were ready. The Glaze Factory was ready this Monday. I was ready. I was coming in here. I was gonna.
You were churning. You were churning at 6 a.m. The glaze.
I was ready to roll. I did a fire up speech. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter or I posted the Riders of Rohan. I posted that underlying my LA Knight. If not now, win. You know what I'm saying? That's my speech for LA Knight. If not now, win. And we had a great match with Rusev being the IC title. I had a great opportunity to take the title off of Dom. And then he gets screwed, distracted by Penta. So many opportunities here for the Glaze Factory, but we're still operating. We're still open. We're not a Spirit Halloween yet, brother. Not yet, because I do have hope, like a Star Wars.
That's all you've had, brother. You've been on episode 4 this whole time. You've been in the glaze factory trying to send out these holograms. LA Knight, you're my only hope.
Yeah, please, please. But no, I feel I made a video about this too. When talking about Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, and being in the suit, I was like, it really feels interesting that the WWE is in a place where I have no idea what's happening. And then for them to default back to Jey Uso is the most deflating part about it. I was like, oh, cool. WWE's in a space where, logic's not like, it's not connecting the dots, but it's okay. I'm confused by, some of the things that with Alistair and Zelina, like they pull that out of nowhere. That's awesome. And they're doing other things like the Wyatts and MFTs. All these things don't make logically sense because they're both heels. And why are they feuding? Don't know. But here we are. We're here, and I'm confused and intrigued is what I call the video. And then when Monday Night rolled around, I'm like, okay, can the confusion and being intrigued continue by putting LA Knight in the driver's seat? And they just defaulted to Jey Uso. But that's where, and add to that Ilya Dragunov, winning the United States title. I'm like, cool, they're doing new things, but not so fast, my friend.
Well, let's talk about that. Ilya Dragunov, he did the one thing that will guarantee you to become a champion. You know what that is, Sancho? Do you know what that is?
No.
Getting a neck tattoo. We got Dominic Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, and now Ilya Dragunov as our neck tattoo trio of the apocalypse. All of them as singles champions in the WWE, brother.
I don't know what it looks like up close, but hey, that's what you want to do, brother. I mean, you are a wrestler. It's the purple profession to have a neck tattoo, but I don't know, man.
I feel like you got to be pretty certain about the longevity and success of your career to like pull off the neck tattoo, right? Like if I was an NXT guy, I don't think I'd commit to the neck tattoo. Like I might end up being an accountant, right? This might not work out. But I do think an Ilya Dragunov, like he's been wrestling for so long, he's a lifer. He can get away with a neck tattoo. Dominic Mysterio is one of the royal families of wrestling at this point. He was going to be a wrestler for his whole life. And Cody Rhodes. All three of these guys, I do think are lifers in wrestling where they can get away with a neck tattoo in society.
And he was jacked to the gills, dude.
Dude, he followed the AJ Styles plan of disappear, get jacked, come back.
He went from a Charmander to Charizard, brother.
Ooh, he skipped Charmeleon.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think so.
Apparently, yeah, I guess he skipped Charmeleon. I don't know. Ilya was pretty jacked. Maybe he was already a Charmeleon. I don't want to call him a Charmander. I think he was already Charmeleon. But yeah, Ilya Dragunov is back in the WWE with maybe the biggest vote of confidence that you can get for an Ilya Dragunov type of guy coming back, winning the U.S. Championship from a main eventer, the likes of Sami Zayn, in what was an unbelievably good match. What a pleasant surprise. One, to have The Miz being out there and then yoinked, continuing that great feud with Carmelo Hayes. Ilya Dragunov gets to come back. That's a great surprise. An amazing match. Pleasant surprise. A kick out of the Haluva kick into the
Blue Thunder?
the Blue Thunder, something that's been uber mega protected. And then an MFT tease where I'm like, oh, guy, here we go. Oh, they're not doing it. That was another pleasant surprise. And then Ilya Dragunov winning, another pleasant surprise. ChatGPT, Booker of the Year. That was so refreshing, Sancho. It was so easy for WWE to go with the DQ finish. So easy that I actually was just mentally prepared for it. Where I'm like, I think I'm okay with this because I just know that this is what they're going to do. I've already accepted a shenanigans-filled finish. But it wasn't that. It was just the return of a guy that so many people have heralded as this amazing professional wrestler that doesn't get an opportunity, returning and not just given an opportunity, like being given the strap, I'm a big Ilya Dragunov fan. I've been a Ilya Dragunov supporter on this podcast for a long time. I've been trying to help you see the light on Ilya Dragunov. Not that you've been fighting it off. Not saying that you've been saying no.
Just
but
because they booked him to lose the Jey
I
Uso,
know.
that's not me. That's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault. And that's something that I said in one of my recent videos. Like, I feel like main roster fans that didn't get to watch him in NXT or NXT UK still don't really know what Ilya Dragunov is capable of. And I really hope that after this match, people saw it. Like, that's the Ilya that I fell in love with in NXT and in NXT UK. And I feel like even though he's been on the main roster now for quite a while, albeit a year in hiatus due to injury, I feel like this is the first time people got to see Ilya Dragunov, like for real. And they got to see him in the best shape of his life. They got to see him in an incredible match. They got to see him win the title. This feels like the creation of a new star. When the Sami Zayn Open Challenge was going on and we were talking about it, one of the things that I said was the John Cena Open Challenge failed to create a new star. It was awesome throughout until it wasn't. The ending, they didn't land the plane. And I said what I like to see out of the Sami Zayn Open Challenge was for them to land the plane by creating a new star. A little bit of misdirection because I thought that new star was going to be Carmelo Hayes. I mean, to me, it was clear as day with everything that was going on with The Miz. Dude, I wasn't even thinking Oba. I thought it was Carmelo because of all of the misdirections, Carmelo getting opportunities yoinked away from him, The Miz getting involved, preventing him from winning, preventing him from getting matches. I thought that the big ultimate payoff was Carmelo finally shedding the weight, saying, Sami Zayn, here I am at 100% and winning and creating a new star. And then they still created a new star in Ilya Dragunov, while they're still building Carmelo Hayes. This is great. I think what they're doing right now with SmackDown and building new faces and giving us new names is great. We look at Aleister Black, what they're doing with him now. He's reinvigorated. People are interested. If you told me Saturday night's main event, obviously this isn't happening, but if you told me that Cody went out there and he got interrupted by Aleister Black and Zelina Vega and they were going to run Aleister Black and Cody Rhodes for a one-off match for the Undisputed Championship at Saturday night's main event, I'd say hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a unique position right now that WWE is in. And maybe it's the feedback that they've been getting about them being so repetitive over the last couple of months, where it feels like they're trying new things with new stars, with their budding young talent, saying, here is Braun Breaker finally. Here is Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, TV time every single week. Julia, let's go skip the U.S. mid-card title division. Let's just put her in the main event. I like what they're doing right now with their NXT call-ups, with their new talents. And Ilya Dragunov, to me, is the biggest vote of confidence, not just for Ilya, but for the next up-and-comers. Hopefully they can stop relying on the 40-somethings, on the nearly 50-somethings, and let's explore this new generation of WWE superstars. I'm not saying give them world titles yet, but like let's do something serious with them as opposed to just having Ilya go out there and do the job for Jey Uso over and over again.
It's funny, you mentioned one brand doing that, but not Monday Night Raw. Raw is still,
Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker. But Braun Breaker, but not Braun Breaker, right? It's like, here's Braun Breaker. Not yet.
Exactly.
Not yet.
One thing I don't want to say, though, is like I feel that when it comes to SmackDown, Ilya Dragunov, real quick, what I enjoyed about it is someone that you were saying that, hey, I haven't seen the full potential of him on the main roster. This version of him is like, this dude blends in the reality of pro wrestling and fighting. And that's all you want sometimes. I know it's all scripted and things like that, but Ilya Dragunov makes me believe this dude's in a fight. Makes me believe this dude is throwing all his body on it to get the win, which is something that a lot of wrestlers can do. Think of Bret Hart. Bret Hart always felt like he was putting everything in his all to win, and that's what worked really well with Ilya Dragunov. I like that the WWE thought we were going to get a DQ, like a SmackDown finish, but they didn't. They even swerved us with having the, like you mentioned, good old Solo Sikoa walking out there for a second, like, oh, here we go. The clean finish was needed to bring up Melo. If they're going to have Melo be the payoff that you want, they got to have a match at Mania with Miz or some payoff and a PLE. They can't have some random main event. Can't happen. Make it matter the most by putting on a PLE. Doesn't have to be for a title. Melo versus Miz. Let's do that. Let's add. They've been building up that story so well. Let's give it a payoff. In regards to the MFTs, though, Santi, you want new and refreshing things. I want to hear your thoughts on the MFTs coming out with the Gorillas of Destiny face war paint all over again. What was your thoughts when you first saw those bad boys roll up on the scene? With big old Jack, yeah.
I'm in. Is the answer, and I was not in when they kept doing these like reintroductions.
Yeah,
remember?
they swerved us.
Yeah, these reintroductions of like, here's JC Mateo. He's my best friend. He likes long walks on the beach. Now here's Talatonga. He's tall. Like, I hated that on a week by week basis. And then they came out and they were full God mode, right? GOD, Gorillas of Destiny. For those that don't know, Tamatonga, GOD has been wearing like this like black and white face paint for a long time, and bringing it to the WWE like is a pretty big deal. And it really does add a layer of scary to them, if you ask me. It really separates them from just being shit bloodline. You know, like this makes them feel like their own thing. MFT, to me, when I see them now with the face paint, with the grouping together, with the vibe, the aura that they have, I, for the first time, no longer think third-rate bloodline. Right. I now think new thing. Now I want to see it on its own merit, as opposed to comparing it to the bloodline. That's success number one, if you ask me, creating a separation of bloodline and MFT.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I just thought of this dumb booking here. Safe place, stick with me. What if the MFTs, because there's only one person not wearing Gorillas of Destiny war paint, that's Solo Sikoa, right? Still being Solo Sikoa. What if, because Solo's on this whole thing, like, I want to bring back to the family the Ulafala, the championship gold, they kick out Solo Sikoa because he's the weak link. Let's admit that he is kind of the weak link right now as he's being booked. They kick him out and he turns into bum-ass Solo Sikoa. Yes.
Oh god. I mean, look, I love it, but I hope that doesn't happen.
Hey, dude, he's dressing like Happy Corbin right now, right? His own version of Happy Corbin.
Don't you agree he should just lean into the face paint too? The war paint?
Yes. Well, why are you not cool like us? That's what I want to know. Like, why are you not vibing with us?
Dude,
we'd be weekend Solo Sikoa.
We'd all have the face paint and Solo wouldn't. We'd all be sitting in the subway on our episode going to Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah. Like, hey man, we need to talk. Sir, do you think the face paint's fucking lame? Is that what you think it is?
No. Come on, but I do feel that they could easily do that to good old Solo Sikoa if he starts not contributing to the Gorillas of Destiny vibe. But I agree with you that overall, dude, as soon as Tamatonga showed up and he took off his black hoodie, I was like, oh, we're doing this here. Here we go. We're doing the GOD, and dare I say, Tangaloa excels when he has face paint on him. He feels like he's different. Like everybody feels different with that face, but even Talatonga feels menacing. I love it. It's an interesting thing. It's a simple pivot.
You know what? This is such a random comparison, but they feel like when regular citizens hear the siren of the purge and they start to put on their purge masks. It's like, oh, the real nasty version of this fake humanity has been put aside. And now the real dark side is out, even if it's just for the next 12 hours. Where murder is legal, of course, in the purge.
Like Finn Balor and the Demon.
Not to that levels of awesome, but like a significant upgrade to what they were before. So sure. I get where you're coming from. So overall, you asked about the MFTs. I love what they're doing. I love that they're doing multiple things, right? Feuding with the Wyatt Six. Is that going to be the War Games match? I don't know. Feuding with Sami Zayn and the cavalcade of different baby faces that he faced off against in the Open Challenge. That could be the War Games match. I don't know. I just like that they have their fingers in the pot of multiple things. And then we're probably going to have Solo going after Ilya Dragunov. Maybe that'll happen as well. It's refreshing. SmackDown is refreshing right now. I know we talked about MFTs, but let's talk about Zelina Vega in Aleister Black. What an upgrade for everybody. For everybody involved here. Zelina Vega chasing after Julia in the United States Championship was going nowhere. I'm a big Zelina Vega fan, but it's not even that her and Julia didn't have good chemistry. Their last match was fantastic. It was really, really good. It's a matter of like the WWE wants to put no effort into that division. So being in that division by default means WWE is putting no effort in you.
No resources either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zelina Vega was being just tossed into the middle of the Pacific Ocean with barely a life raft in that women's United States Championship division. Being put here alongside Aleister Black brings out the best of Zelina Vega, which is combo manager, combo wrestler. I hope they don't deviate away from the wrestler side of Zelina Vega because she's really, really good. But now we are getting to see her in her best environment, which is to work alongside somebody else as well, where they just bounce off each other so well. I think her and Aleister Black, you think they got good chemistry? I mean, I don't know. They're freaking married. I'm sure they're going to have excellent chemistry with one another. I think that they're going to do such a great job. I actually made a case where I said, like, and I already kind of talked about it, like, why not do a one-off feud between Aleister Black and Cody Rhodes? Why not? This would benefit Aleister Black because it puts him in that conversation of main eventers, and it gives Cody Rhodes a new one-off feud while we are in this end-of-the-year lull for Cody Rhodes.
What are the WWE again recycling storylines? Doesn't bring in Brandy Rhodes too to help out good old Cody Rhodes?
Why not, man? Why not?
Redo the open mic with Zelina
Hell
and
yeah.
Brandy? Why
This
not?
isn't an open. What did she say? Is this an open mic, bitch?
Yeah. It's really good. The only thing I feel that I think what's interesting about Zelina, and I feel like the WWE has always been putting themselves in a bind because valets and managers is the lore of the past. It was a part of wrestling where that's all women could do was be a manager or a valet or be like some sort of up for contention love interest for a wrestler. That's always been the trope for the longest time, and that was the only slot for women in wrestling. And then of course it's progressed to now they're superstars and now they're champions and now that main eventing WrestleManias and things of that sort in the Rhea Ripley's part. So I understand why the WWE would want to avoid that trope as much as possible, and it feels like they do as much as possible. The only manager valet that you kind of have is Maxine Dupree, right, running around
Maybe
with
she's
Alpha
wrestling.
Academy, but she is wrestling as well. So now we have this opportunity of putting Zelina with alongside Aleister Black, but I think they kind of justify that reunion in this aspect because they're married. And I think it will work beyond that because Zelina Vega, if you missed out on any of the manager kind of duties she had with Andrade and NXT, oddly enough, as Santi knows, in Match Club, we had a match where it was Andrade versus Aleister Black with Zelina Vega on ringside for Andrade's corner. That in itself was a fun match, and Zelina gets involved and she does like hurricanranas and things of that sort. She gets involved and she wrestles and she interferes. I think that is the game plan going forward with Aleister Black. And it's just at the same time, let's be real, dude. When the reason why Dominic Mysterio works so well is because he had Rhea Ripley. Dom works so well because he has Liv Morgan. Aleister Black with Zelina Vega on his arm is going to get him heat as well, and is going to make him a little bit more of a main star in the SmackDown world.
I think it's just hilarious that they basically. All right, what's arrived on the line? I believe this is the corpse of Karrion Kross's WWE career. All right, what can we salvage from this? Oh yeah, I think we have a good spare part here of turning babyface's heel. Can we repurpose that? Yeah, let's take that part and give it to Bo Dallas. All right, what else do we have here? Hot goth couple? Save that for a bit. I think we can use this somewhere else because we've got our new hot goth couple, buddy, and it's not Karrion and Scarlett. Sadly, it is now Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. I just think it's so funny that Karrion was doing all of these great things. And they're just like, fucking, yeah, we know those are great things, so we're just going to have some other people do it. Dude, why didn't you just have Karrion do it?
And that's the thing that, of course, I think contracts speak a long thing. And of course, they have Aleister Black under contract, Zelina under contract. But I agree with you because, Santi, when you're telling your little story, like, yeah, wouldn't it be great if all of a sudden Cody Rhodes is there and then out comes Aleister Black and Zelina? I was like, yeah, that would have been the Karrion Kross and Scarlett thing to do because Cody Rhodes is clearly showing signs that he has fallen apart and turning to the dark side. And I would have been like, oh, great. Karrion could be like, you see, Cody, you see what happens?
Cody.
You embrace Cody. Look, you're still champion, Cody. Drew McIntyre with the DQ belt. That's who you are, Cody Rhodes. Ha, ha, ha. But now it's going to be Aleister Black doing the same thing.
It's
Do you
true.
think I like how he got rid of his little entrance and went with the good old House of Black scary horn mask thing. I'm hyped
Yeah,
for that
I
too.
mean,
So
like the lifting entrance is just too cool. It's too cool for a heel. Like you can't be running around as a heel with like the coolest entrance in WWE.
I do think they're gonna redo the House of Black in the WWE. The House of Black was cool. House of Black had Buddy Matthews, and I think who was the other one? It was a heart.
Brody,
Brody, but who was the girl in there?
not
She had a
Brody.
hat.
Sorry, wait, was it Brody? No, no, I'm thinking Brody Lee. No, that's Dark Order. Oh my God, what is his name? Big ass dude from the House of Black. I'm
And who's the
tripping here.
girl? Last name is Hart.
Oh,
She's
Oh,
blonde.
yeah, Julia Hart. Sorry. Oh, I
Julia
was
Hart,
right.
yeah.
Brody. There is a Brody. Brody
Yeah,
King.
yeah,
Brody King.
yeah, Brody King. Yeah, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart. My favorite ever was when Julia Hart she transport. That was her power. But AEW doesn't understand how to do pitch out black, and so you see Julia Hart lights go out. You see a little silhouette running into the
Well,
ring, and then
yeah,
pop
I'll tell
there.
you what the problem was with House of Black. They didn't want to lose singles matches, or Alistair didn't want to lose singles matches, so
Yeah, exactly.
it would always be tag matches for the House of Black. There was never the big payoff of like, oh, the babyface finally getting his moment against the leader of the evil faction, because Alistair wouldn't lose matches. That's the prevailing rumor, at least in his time in AEW. That shit
Well,
would
it's
not
funny.
fly in WWE.
Well, that, but at the same time, it's interesting that the Hurt Syndicate had that same thing too, where MVP refused to let anyone beat the Hurt Syndicate for a long time.
Dude, that's crazy that you could just go to your job and be like, nope, I will not do the job.
I never had that.
No, I never
Like-
had that luxury at any job. Like, no, I'm not. That's not gonna work for me, brother. You've had WWE talent literally hit the "it's not gonna work for me, brother" line in AEW. That's crazy to me.
The only time I did it, but I did it quiet quitting. You know what I mean? Like I never did it where I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I never had the gall because you know why? I needed every single job.
Yeah, I was a manager of a gym, and I had a terrible
Right.
member, and just an awful human being. It was the pandemic, and like to me, the nail in the coffin was that this guy just refused to wear his mask. I didn't care, bro. But like, if you aren't
Gym
wearing your
policy,
mask,
gym
it's the
policy,
gym
yeah.
policy, and you not wearing the mask, it prevents me from being able to keep this place open and feeding my employees. I'm sorry that like you feel like you have your rights to an oxygenated breath. That's his exact line, by the way. An oxygenated breath. I don't give a fuck, dude. Somebody walks in from the city and sees you, they shut this place down. I lose my job. My people lose their jobs. What? So for your extra oxygenated breath, screw you, dude. So I banned him from the gym. I blacklisted him from all the chain of gyms from the country, and then corporate's like, oh, you can't do that. Yeah, from the country. Corporate's like, you can't do that. Dude, it was honestly like the most alpha thing. I was like, what is your position at corporate? He's like, oh, I'm an associate human resources. I'm higher than you in the hierarchy, so I'm not going to listen to you. I'm keeping him banned until my boss says otherwise. Goodbye. Never heard otherwise, brother. Still banned. That was like 3 months before I quit that job too. It was my coup de grace.
It was your little fart before you left.
Dude, it was a big ass fart. I shit all over the floor on my way out. Aye. Well, let's talk. We talked a little bit about it. The U.S. Championship, Julia and Tiffany Stratton. There's no confirmed match, but I think it's pretty clear that that's where it's going to go. I weirdly think this is genius. One, because it gives Tiffany a new opponent that isn't just Jade Cargill and Nia Jax, right? It's something new, but there is no saving this United States Championship division. As it is on paper, there's no saving it. Right now, this is the best way to save it. The way that they saved the SmackDown tag titles, making them main event adjacent. Making the US title main event adjacent. Hell, having Tiffany being like, I want that title. Tiffy two belts. It's Tiffy two belts time, or Julia becoming a two belt champion. Just having one of these two hold both belts will elevate whoever wins it, of course, but elevate the United States Championship. Because if it ever does come to a point where they're going to do a title for title match, it means logically that Tiffany sees that title, the US title, as important enough for her to put up her big title on the line. That helps the aura and the importance of what currently has less importance than this Prime hat. I feel like this Prime hat gets more TV time than the Women's United States Championship. I think this is brilliant all around. And maybe it could be a way to just bide for time while they build the women's mid card in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form. But I think this is a great idea.
I think this is great for Kiana James. It pushes her up in the main event too for a little bit. And I like Kiana James.
Main event adjacent is so valuable. I really don't think enough people recognize that.
That's me, right here.
Main event adjacent, yes, sir.
That's me, baby. Woo, I'm the Kiana James of this podcast, brother. Here I am. Every now and then I have a great segment. But I like Kiana James as a wrestler, actually. She feeds really well. And she plays that little, like, I'm off balance heel. And I'm getting overpowered so well. And it just works. And at the same time, because she just has that imposing silhouette in the ring, like when Tiffany Stratton's manhandling her, just like, dude, it makes Tiffany look like $1 million.
She has the body mannerisms of Charlotte Flair because they're both so tall, powerful, and imposing. I'm not saying she's as good as Charlotte Flair. Obviously, she's significantly younger and much greener than Charlotte Flair. I'm saying, like, in terms of the way she kind of sells, she kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Flairs, where she has to kind of like get cut down because she's so big and tall and strong, and she sells it really well. She sells like the teetering giant falling down.
Yes. Did you like that Charlotte tapped out Sol Ruca? Come on.
I didn't love it, but I appreciated that they protected Sol Ruca enough where it was a distraction, where it was the work knee, where it was the figure four. Oh, this isn't enough. Let me stop it, attack the knee more, and then put on the full figure eight. I feel like there was an attempt to protect Sol Ruca, but I didn't think they needed to tap out Sol Ruca. I think they could have gotten to the same finish by her just getting pinned. With the same distraction, which, by the way, that distraction was not a distraction. She was just standing there. Blake Monroe did nothing. She was just standing there.
Blake Monroe just bit her finger, and all of a sudden, Sol Ruca saw red. But I know they're trying to build up the rookie being distracted by not having their eyes on the prize. But I just felt at the end of the day was another young superstar being fed to Charlotte. And I know a lot of people disagree with that because it's, hey, Sol Ruca went out against Charlotte Flair because of distraction. But in my review for SmackDown on Patreon, I said, I don't like that this NXT storyline is slowing down the rise of Sol Ruca on SmackDown as a main eventer or in terms of main roster participant, because I feel that everything momentum-wise for her debuting on the main roster was going at a nice pace. And the fact that they put up against Charlotte and Alexa, I didn't see that when they were first teasing it, but they wrestled as heels in that match, and they were getting not the same pops as that match as a face would going up against another face. And I felt like, oh no, the WWE has probably blundered here this matchup, because Sol Ruca and Zarya definitely took a slight detour when it comes to maybe they had the momentum debuting on the roster earlier than most would want them to. But I did feel that it felt like at the end of the day it was like, okay, Charlotte needs to beat another budding superstar. It's a stretch, I know, but that's how I felt.
I think it is a little bit of a stretch. I think for me, it's more like, dude, Charlotte has like 50 different ways to beat you. She has so many finishers. They could have picked all of the other ones to win, because there is a connotation to tapping out, right? There is this connotation to tapping out, especially as a babyface too.
Yes.
Right. So to have Sol Ruca tap out, I get it why, as a Sol Ruca fan, you would be disappointed. Again, I was trying to look at the silver lining of, hey, they found they clearly attempted to protect her. They clearly wanted to protect her stock in some capacity.
You're right. When you're right, Santi, you're right. I have an idea though to help the United States title.
All right.
I
Hit
know
me.
they're doing the Tiffy thing, but here's my idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bring in the AAA people, brother.
I
If
agree.
it's in the United States, make it a North American title for a little bit of like that, you know?
I mean,
Have the
Ethan
Mexican
Page is
wrestlers
doing
come up.
that. He's having a
Yeah,
match with Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. for the North American
yeah,
title.
dude. Bring up La Hydra, dude.
Dude, I'll take anybody. I
Which
love that idea, man. Like blending, because that is a lot of like worlds colliding, right? It is Japanese
mm-hmm.
style with Mexican style,
bring up like
and
Apache
yeah,
as well.
Fabi Apache would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool blend of different worlds. I think it would be cool too. Again, if you're trying to just bide time for Julia, and not necessarily for Julia, but to build a division, is to find good side quests for her. I think this is a good one. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy to call, going after the world championship a side quest, but a side quest as a US champion, it is a side quest. I think the
The
other
new
one
game
could,
plus for Julia.
yeah, I think the other one could be Kabuki Warriors recruiting her and Kiana James for war games. If that's the
Oh,
intention of doing like women's war games with the Kabuki Warriors kind of being like the central core of the heels against Rhea
that'd
and
be lit.
Io, right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Kiana James sells the services of Julia. That'd be cool, right? Making
That'd be
Kiana
cool.
James look like a good wheel and dealer,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
adding
mm-hmm.
Julia into the fold, more Japanese power to this team. Hell yeah, dude. There's
I don't
so
think
many
Rhea.
things you could do with Julia. They're just choosing to not to. I'm glad that they're trying stuff though.
Isn't it odd that Rhea Ripley's appearing at Survivor Series again with a mask?
Oh yeah, you're right. Dude, it's becoming like a tradition at this point. She's gonna
She
have to
looked
wear
like
that mask, that Batman
she looked
mask
like
again.
a Cubone.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she had like the skull mask with the little horns.
Yeah, it was like a full mask Cubone style, dude.
Mm. We could also look at like Chelsea Green being reinserted back in the US Championship division. You have here Chelsea Green payoff. What are you thinking here with Chelsea Green?
The reason why I put that down is because it's like we were all on board the Chelsea Green train. We were salivating for Chelsea Green. Dare I say she was like an LA Knight of the women's division. Where it's so close to getting there. Money in the Bank. You're like, dude, Chelsea's the one. Chelsea's the one. But the difference between LA Knight and Chelsea Green was that she was actually given something of the United States title. And that United States title run immediately kind of went back into the recycling thing of like the WWE criticisms of having the same feuds over and over again. And it just stayed so long. Like they built up Meechin so well going into that, the garbage match and things like that. And then they had more matches afterwards that kind of diluted everything that they set up before. And I was hoping that Chelsea Green would have some fresh new faces to go up against. The same thing with the IC title. What can we do with Chelsea, right? Secret Harvest is now looking for somebody. And the reason why I put it there is like, what is this payoff? Is it another new member of the Secret Harvest? Because Piper apparently may be out forever, considering that she might have a neck injury of some sort. No, all rumors, of course, but it is clear as day that Piper may be retired. But what does that mean? Is it a Matt Cardona? Matt Cardona has made his debut in NXT, one step closer to being back on the main roster. He did the unprettier, in honor of his wifey. The WWE loves couples, and for some reason, so why not put Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona back together just to give some oomph? And I'm not saying that Chelsea Green needs Matt Cardona. I think adding Matt Cardona would give her momentum. That's all she needs. She needs some momentum going forward. And if some storyline involving Matt Cardona being in the Secret Harvest, giving Chelsea Green another edge, another type of fear to put in the mid card, why not? I think that's what's missing from Chelsea Green, right? Secret Harvest was never felt like a scary faction, even though they were the only heel faction, but never felt like they were dangerous enough to make Chelsea Green scary. Instead, they became a joke of a faction, and they leaned too hard into Chelsea's comedic antics, which are fine. Remember when Chelsea came out in the luchador mask? Like, that's great. Absolutely loved it. But at some point, Chelsea Green needs an edge, and we know that Reclusa lives inside of Chelsea Green. And I'm hoping that we could find that edge for that Chelsea Green payoff somewhere.
I think Chelsea Green is in a great career spot where I think WWE has a lot of people that can be a Reclusa. They have no one that can be a Chelsea Green. No one can play the comedic character like Chelsea Green can. Let's be honest about that. But like so for those that don't know, Reclusa is her persona in Lucha Underground. Badass wrestler, fought Penta, like a true, genuine badass. I could name you like 10 of those in WWE. I can only name you one Chelsea Green. She's one of one. I don't think the solution is to give Chelsea Green an edge to make her darker, more badass or anything like that. It's to not be afraid to put over the comedy act. I think that there is this concern that losing to the comedy act damages you, but not if the comedy act is smart, not if the comedy act is great at politicking and great at weaseling themselves into positions of power and winning and coercing and tricking referees. I want to see more of that. I want to, basically what I want is Chelsea Green being more like Dominic Mysterio is right now. That's what I want to see more from Chelsea Green. Can she do that with or without Matt Cardona? I agree. I think it would be better with Matt Cardona because I think that there is a magic in having the reverse valet system where the male valet is helping the female wrestler win matches. I would love for Matt Cardona to be that Weasley husband that isn't afraid to distract other women in women's matches to help his wife win. That doesn't really happen in WWE.
That's true.
It doesn't really happen. I'm not saying I need Matt Cardona hitting friggin' Rough Riders on women, but like I would love for Matt Cardona to play the reverse role of what you typically expect out of the valet.
Eat a body splash every now and then.
Him being a physical comedy prop for the opponent of Chelsea Green to take out because he sells like crazy. And that opens up the door for Chelsea Green to win matches. I think that'd be great. I think that's great heat too. Just requires Matt Cardona being in WWE. Hell, I wouldn't mind if they ran a little if they ran this in TNA. You just, hey, let's test it out in TNA before we bring it over to the main roster.
I like it. Santi, what time are we at right now? Because I don't have a timer.
We are at an hour 20, my friend. We still got...
Perfect.
But why is it perfect?
You want to talk about this list that I have here?
Yes, let's talk about this list.
Let's talk about it, because you've been in Japan, and while you were in Japan, lots have happened, okay? Lots have happened. I took over the Patreon. Sancho Mania took over. And people were excited. They were like, they had order, they had organized vibes all over the place. It was like, what is this refined place that Patreon is running on all cylinders? Well, it's Sancho Mania. But while you were gone, you had the MFTs, you had Seth Rollins, you had all this thing happening.
Oh, the John Cena AJ Styles match.
Oh, yes.
I almost cried at that, bro. Can we talk about that before the list? Can we talk about that the list?
Sure.
Dude, that was so beautiful. I loved every single second of that match. That was one of like the few matches where I'm like, oh man, that took me through every emotion imaginable. That was such a roller coaster of a match that I accepted AJ Styles winning. Remember when AJ Styles like late in the match hit a clean, phenomenal forearm? I'm like, I'm okay with this. I am okay with AJ Styles winning, which I hope shows that there isn't this hypocrisy, as some people were saying. They're like, the only reason you didn't like WrestlePalooza was because you don't like Brock Lesnar and you're a John Cena mark. No, I didn't like the WrestlePalooza match because it sucked ass. That's why I didn't like the WrestlePalooza match. And Brock Lesnar winning the way that he did sucked ass. I was ready and willing. My body was ready, Sancho, for AJ Styles to win that match. I thought that was going to be the last love letter of John Cena to AJ Styles. I thought John Cena was willing to lose to AJ Styles after, you know, the definition of total nonstop action, the true leader of the Bullet Club, like it felt like Cena was giving him his retirement tour so much that I actually accepted that AJ Styles could win that match. And that's a special thing because we can talk about all of the nostalgia, the nods to all of these different people. But to me, why that match was special wasn't just like the message it sent to us, the fans. I thought it was special because of the message that John sent to AJ in that match and the setup of that match. John wanting AJ, the announcement that John Cena wrote specifically for AJ. I don't see enough people talking about the aspect of that. The other reason why I love this match, again, you could say all of these little pops and stuff because of all the moves. That's great. That's amazing. But when you look deeper into it, it's one of the rare matches, dare I say, maybe the only match that I can really pinpoint in WWE history that rewarded you the longer that you watched wrestling. Normally, matches are designed to reward the person watching week in, week out in that, in that parameter. It's designed for the people following the storyline in the moment. It's very rare that WWE caters a match to the people of the past, to the people that have been watching for a long time. And this was a rare occasion where if you've been watching recently, you could still get, your kicks out of this because it's AJ Styles and John Cena. But if you've been watching for 10 years, you got your kicks out of it because you're getting to see the rematch of one of the best feuds of the 2010s in John Cena and AJ Styles. If you've been watching for 15 years, you got to see the callbacks of John Cena's feuds in the 2010s. If you've been watching for 20 plus years, you got to see the callbacks of AJ Styles' time in TNA and all of the feuds that he had in the 2000s in TNA. It rewarded you the longer that you watched wrestling. The longer that you watched wrestling, the more that match was designed for you. And that, I cannot say the same for any other match in WWE history.
Can I tell you why it worked as well? Let me walk you down a path, Santi. Of you had Mr. TNA, of course, AJ, Mr. WWE, John Cena. We've seen this before, my friends. We had Mr. WWE, Triple H, going against Mr. WCW and Sting. And what did they do, Santi? They overcooked that bad boy to the point where, as you said, they acknowledged the reverence that we had, the history that we had, the 20 years plus of knowledge of understanding AJ Styles and John Cena, yada, yada, yada. And then you look at Sting versus Triple H. Wait, NWO is helping Sting? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense because it was a kick in the face. Because after years of seeing Sting usurp NWO, stop the New World Order from taking over for multiple times at WCW, then you get that because it's WWE versus WCW. And then what do? Interferences, run-ins, music, nostalgia in the wrong way. Nostalgia, you talk about fan service, that was disgusting fan service that at the end of the day, we saw it in Match Club, muddied that entire ride. We're like,
Great
why?
point.
Why? And so you could easily said the WWE could have done that again with the AJ Styles and John Cena. They easily could have done the run-ins. They could have done the callbacks. They could have whatever, right? There could have been so many opportunities. They would have brought in someone from TNA that they could sign that had really nothing to do with AJ Styles to really solidify TNA versus WWE. But no, they didn't. The best thing you've said about your entire thing about this match was that it was John Cena's reverence towards AJ Styles that made this match special. It was like two gunfighters, two old West cowboys, and that's what made Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels so good. These are little dudes near the end of their career, putting everything on the line, letting us know, like, hey, as much as we love you, the WWE Universe, this match is for us. And that's what made John Cena versus AJ Styles so cool. It was a match for them. They put on what they thought was a spectacular thing. AJ Styles said himself, he said, you guys don't know what you're in for at Clash, and I can't wait to beat John Cena. So all that worked out to a T, and I will always hold on to this point that if John Cena, if he flexed this muscle, brother John, I just wish you were this way at the beginning of your retirement tour rather than saying let the WWE take the wheel, because you can't blame them, Santi. You saw all the success that the WWE had 2-3 years prior, going up to Cody finishing the story from WrestleMania 39 on. You can't blame John Cena going like, all right, I'm going to trust you guys, the WWE, to do what you do best because you guys are outselling everything. You guys are having the biggest gates, the biggest draws in WWE history, more than my career has ever had. So I'm going to put my career in your hands, Triple H, in the booking, and let you drive and see where it goes. And what did it end up happening? They sold him these goods of a heel turn that he thought, yeah, maybe that would work out. I mean, I can't disagree with you. You guys are doing so well. Let me do this. It's best for business. Turns out wasn't best for you, John. And what's best for you, John, is what happened in that ring in good old Perth, which I'm jealous. We had a lot of people on the Patreon after I did that review were like, dude, I was there. I was like, I am so jealous of you that you were there. And I dare I say, I'm hoping that the retirement match, whoever they pick, comes close to that, but
No
that's the
way.
bar. That's the bar.
Yeah.
That by far is the best match of the John Cena retirement tour.
I there's a lot of bias here because so much of that match is for the Santis of the world. That's my favorite match of the year. It's my favorite match of the year. I'm not saying favorite means best, but it's my favorite match of the year because it is such a love letter to the Santis of the world, the ones that have been watching for this long, the ones that have been following AJ Styles and John Cena for as long as I have. It's my current favorite match of the year, and it feels so funny to me that it comes off the back of a non feud in what is typically a B tier PLE in Crown Jewels. I think it's just so cool that they were able to just pull this off the way that they did. But I think the only complaint, Sancho, is this should have just been Cena's last match. You know?
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm not even. Let me clarify what I mean
it
by
should have
that.
been AJ at Saturday main event.
Bingo. They should have saved this with this choreography at Saturday night's main event. That's what I mean.
Damn.
And I don't think there's much fighting that. That was such a perfect way to end John Cena's career.
With a tombstone and into an AA to get the pin.
Yeah. Which, a lot of people kind of miss the importance of the tombstone. Both of those guys, those are Undertaker's last 2 WrestleMania opponents. Back to back. Cena, AJ Styles. And ending it with a tombstone. Poetic.
I know people were saying like it was a finisher fest, but I'm saying in my mind, it was these dudes understanding that they could throw everything that they can, and they were going into the bank of what moves finished me and what moves gave me problems. I'm going to try it on this dude that's giving me problems right in front of me.
Yeah.
That was my kayfabe.
No, dude, yeah. Dude, they could have gone for another 40 minutes. That's what they literally could have gone until the rest of the show if they wanted to.
Babe, watch this match, babe, between John Cena and AJ. Babe, that's the weekend to Angel right there, babe. Babe, that's the show's lamp, babe.
It's just so funny that that most people were watching this at like 10 a.m. with their Saturday morning cereal and breakfast.
That is the problem as well. I love Perth, love Australia, hate time zones.
All right. Well, now let's talk about this list. Sancho, I'll let you set it up here.
Folks, if you don't know, Bleacher Report put out the top 25 WWE superstars of the quarter of the century because we are living 25 years of the 21st century. And interesting enough, Rolling Stones put out the top 250 songs of the 21st century of the past 25 years. And so Bleacher Report, God bless you, put out a list of the top 25 superstars. And Santi, there's only one person on earth that I know a lot of information more than anybody of the 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s is you. Good old Santi's app. So I'm going to pick your brain here and I'll present you the list, and we're going to run down this list together. Of course, it's going to have a lot of mixture of old names. I want to preference this. It's yes, there's 90s attitude wrestlers, but it is talking about their performance in the 2000s. Don't get it mixed up and be like, whoa, Stone Cold's too low on this list. His performance in the 2000s on mainly as a manager, GM, all those kind of things. That's the Stone Cold we're talking about, not 90s Stone Cold, Rock, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. At number 25, Kofi Kingston.
Good shout. That's a guy. By the way, to clarify, this is only WWE.
Yes, only WWE superstars. That's why I say superstars.
Yeah, WWE superstars. I think this is a great shout. A workhorse, put him on the list. Workhorse since 2009, barely missed any time. Yeah, sure, he didn't reach all of the crazy accolades that some people did.
It's a good shout out, though. Yeah,
I think it's a great shout.
Especially Kofi Mania was a big thing. Now, Booker T's at 24. Booker T, King Booker should be at 24 because King Booker actually had a great run as at that time when he won King of the Ring.
Yeah, King of the Ring, world champion. Got to be one of the WrestleMania main events at WrestleMania 19 with Triple H. I think his biggest accolade, believe it or not, isn't even any of the championships or anything like that. It's the fact that he was basically the only WCW guy that worked out
and survived. Yeah,
I think we need to give that reverence more than anything else.
Yeah, because everybody else that came over at that time, Big Papa Pump, Jeff Bagwell,
dude,
did not do well.
Freaking Goldberg didn't do well in WWE. And that's his wrestling career. He was a general manager. He's been a commentator, been a big part of NXT commentating as well. So if you include everything, the past 25 years, I like the shout for Booker T.
At 23, Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is
Too
pretty low on
low.
this list.
That's too low.
It's
That's
way
too
too low.
low. That is way too low, in my opinion. Granted, like we're talking about 10 years as opposed to 25 years because Kevin Owens' time in WWE was like 2015 on. But I see the guy directly above him,
Yes,
and Kevin Owens should be above that guy. Don't you
I
agree?
agree. I agree.
Who's
And
the
that
guy
guy you're
above
talking
him?
about, Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose should not be above Kevin Owens.
I think that's
In
a
the
shield
world.
shout out, but no, I don't think Dean Ambrose should be on this list at all, honestly.
I might be willing to accept him on the list. Not above Kevin Owens. I think more than anything, I'm not even saying Dean Ambrose shouldn't be on this list. I think I could probably come up with 25 more influential superstars and bigger, more important superstars than Dean Ambrose. But I just immediately question the validity of this list if you're putting Kevin Owens below Dean Ambrose. Kevin Owens is one of the reasons NXT is what it is today, which is such a vital life bloodline, no pun intended, to the WWE. He was so vital in the bloodline to get that act over. He feuded with the bloodline for like 3 years. World champion, WrestleMania main eventer, one of the best talkers that WWE's had. So
Headbutted
many
Vince
amazing
McMahon.
matches. Dude, it's not even close. Kevin Owens should be so many spots ahead in this list and so many spots ahead of Dean Ambrose.
At number 21, Cody Rhodes. That's low for Cody. Now, I know Cody has been a resurgence lately, and I know it again. Cody's career is so diverse from the past 25 years, if you really think about it. I'm watching Ryback in review, and I literally saw the spawn of Stardust. Okay.
Yeah.
I am there. The Forrest Gump of wrestling provides with Ryback. We're seeing the rise of Stardust to leave, to go to AEW. Maybe they're chopping him down on that list because he left for so long. But you cannot argue the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes has brought back wrestling to a new elevated level that I'm surprised he's so low on the list.
All right. I'll do the same thing. If we're just talking about the 2000s, they've both had a short amount of time of the past 25 years. They both had a short amount of impact in the past 25 years. But Cody Rhodes should be ahead of Stone Cold Steve Austin because of their impact in the past 25 years, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Cody Rhodes had this insane main event run at WrestleMania. Granted, so did Stone Cold. WrestleMania 17 being in the main event of that, being one of the marquee matches of WrestleMania 19 as well. 18, not particularly memorable with Scott Hall. But yeah, Stone Cold had like a big burst in the 2000s at the beginning of it, but like it lasted 3 years. Cody Rhodes has basically done the same thing for the past 3 years, been this uber mega face of the WWE. The big difference is that a lot of that time for Stone Cold, he was part-time. He was hobbled by injuries, Stone Cold, and Stone Cold took his ball and went home in the height of his popularity in the 2000s as well. Cody Rhodes is still here. In the past 25 years, I'd have Cody over Stone Cold.
Do you think that the reason why they put Stone Cold here because he came back against Kevin Owens at Mania? Just for that one moment, that one match?
No, I think that Stone Cold was very important, very influential, even in the early 2000s. I do think that. Obviously, like the reverence of Stone Cold will always be the 90s, right? People don't talk about Stone Cold's 2000s. That's just not what you do. That's not that's not what you talk about when you talk about Stone Cold. So maybe it's possible, but like I don't want to discount Stone Cold Steve Austin's early 2000s because he had a lot of important things happen in the 2000s.
And then after that, we have AJ Styles at 19.
I like it. Ooh. I like him being on the list. What is the ooh about? Would you not have him on the list?
About for me is I feel like it's a little low for AJ.
Okay.
But I think it's not AJ's fault he's this low. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking about 9 years as opposed to for the full 25.
Exactly. It's pretty high for a short reign, I would say. But I still think his output of AJ Styles is not his fault. He was in the 9 years of his career in the WWE, probably prime bad Vince McMahon booking, dude. Just terrible booking. And I think the only black eye you would have for AJ Styles' career in the WWE is definitely that Nakamura Mania match, where it was built up to the point where it was the match that we all wanted, and then the finish of Nakamura and low blowing AJ kind of put such a salty taste in everybody's mouth that this did not work out for AJ Styles as a main eventer, and then he kind of got knocked back a peg or two because of that. I say what was the saving grace for AJ was that SmackDown run of the face that runs a place. And I think what really hurt AJ was them trying to recreate the Bullet Club in WWE without really creating the Bullet Club in the WWE. Like, if you're going to be the Bullet Club, just really do it. Don't be these offshoot, off-brand, copyright, can't do it version of the Bullet Club.
Like Guerrillas of Destiny. We're just gonna do it. Same thing. Exactly. We're just gonna do it.
Just make AJ. I know he's never the leader of the Bullet Club, but if you're gonna put him with the Good Brothers and yada yada yada, just lean into that harder. Agreed. And I think that didn't work out. And then, of course, now that AJ is going to retire, we're going to get a big resurgence. And I think if you were going to make this list later in the year, if you would have, obviously, if they made this list before that Perth match, I could see why he's here. But after that Perth match, he would have been higher.
Here's the hot take of the episode. You ready?
Hit me.
If they included everything that he did in the past 25 years in New Japan, in the Indies, in TNA, he's number one.
Oh.
The number one guy, I don't want to spoil it, the number one guy wasn't there for all 25 years. The number one guy missed a lot of years in those last couple of years. AJ has been there, continuing to build. I would have had AJ at number one if we're including everything from the past 25 years, but we're not, right? They're only including the last 9 years. Number 18, Sancho, what is it?
Batista. I always scream at the top of my lungs. We did him dirty. The man sacrificed so much coming back. Literally was on the top of his Hollywood game as the MCU's Drax. Good old Batista coming out there, and we booed the hell out of him for ruining the Daniel Bryan run. We blamed him. Again, it's not his fault. I will always say this again, Santi. Wrestlers are mostly the time are good or bad based on the way they're booked, and it's not their fault. But Batista, dude, the animal. Tell me about Batista in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s that people don't understand what made him great.
Dude, he's the blueprint of Braun Breaker. He was the animal, the monster that people wanted to see finally break out from the shackles.
Leviathan.
The Leviathan, yeah. We wanted to see him break out from the shackles, and it was one of those moments where WWE landed the plane perfectly with the moment where he turned his back on Evolution. His world championship win against Triple H was awesome. He beat Triple H in a proper feud. All of the matches he won 3-0 against Triple H, which was a rarity back then. He was a megastar, man. He was halted in his first world championship run with an injury that forced him to vacate and miss time. But every time that he was around, like, it was him and John Cena. Him or John Cena were the two stars. And really, like, the only reason that we don't have him higher on here is because he found as much success as he did in Hollywood. Because he could have been a guy that's still here today being a main eventer.
Absolutely. Up next, Shawn Michaels at 17. It's too low for Shawn, I think.
Low.
Really low.
The only reason...
just forget about Taker matches?
Yeah, I think the reason it's low is because...
he hasn't been around he hasn't been active.
His last 25 years run is 2002 to 2009. So we're talking about 7 years. But dog, that might be like the greatest 7 years of performances that I've ever seen anyone give. Absolutely incredible run from Shawn Michaels. Like, this dude had 2 separate Hall of Fame careers. His late 80s and 90s run, then he takes the 4-year hiatus. That, like, his first run, Hall of Fame worthy. And then he comes back in 2002 to 2009, only has 1 world championship run for 1 month, Sancho, and it's still a Hall of Fame worthy career. This is way too low.
How dare they?
And then how dare they?
How dare they? At number 16, Jeff Hardy. Interesting. I think this is a TLC bump. All the TLC matches he put his body through, that's why he's here on the list.
Yeah, his insane popularity in 08 and 09, we got to talk about that as well. This is certainly carried by that and by TLC. I think I think if the list was influential, I'd actually have him higher because he's influenced so many stars of today. Like, dude, if you basically watch Javon Evans and
Leon Slater.
Leon Slater, thank you. You were basically watching 2 super Jeff Hardys. You could tell like the influence of Jeff Hardy in that match was out of this world. Like Jeff Hardy influenced so many people because of all the cool shit that he did in TLC 0809, his insanely popular run. Um, over Shawn Michaels, I can't agree with that. Over Batista, I can't agree with that either. I simply just can't.
Mm. Number 15, Eddie Guerrero. It's an interesting pick here. I mean, it's a career cut short, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, what was Eddie like in his prime? Because he was part of the 6-pack of the SmackDown 6.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. My God, dude. It's SmackDown 6. One of the first matches that we watched on Match Club was a singles match of the SmackDown 6. Edge and Eddie Guerrero in a no disqualification match. A match that I call the greatest ladder match that wasn't the ladder match because it's a disqualification match where they just only use ladders. It was an awesome match. Eddie was just the 5-star match workhorse, the definition of the mid card in his time from like 2002 to like 2000 in like late 2003. That main event run beating Brock Lesnar was it was like inspirational, right? It was just like, oh my God, this guy, he fucking did it. There was so little of that. He was the first Daniel Bryan before Daniel Bryan was like, oh my God, the miracle. I can't believe he managed to pull it off. It started with Eddie Guerrero, if you ask me. Career cut short. This is a guy that could have been so much higher on this list if we didn't lose him in 2005. Eddie absolutely deserves to be on this list.
Number 14, CM Punk.
I vibe with
Pretty
that.
low.
I vibe with him being on the list.
Yeah, of course, but pretty low for the punker.
I'll say this, right? He wasn't in the WWE from 2000 to 2006, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in WWE, not even like WWE proper in 2006, because that was like ECW, like the C show. But
you wouldn't have him higher on the list because of the pipe bomb? I mean, that pipe bomb puts him higher on the list, in my opinion.
I'm saying the problem is the 10-year hiatus. That to me is the problem.
Because it's not including his AAW as well.
No, not including his AEW run. That to me is the problem. Why I wouldn't have him maybe in like the top 5. And by the way, CM Punk is like one of my favorites of all time. But I'm just trying to look at this objectively. I loved all of his runs, his current run, the old run in the WWE, one of the most important, influential runs. But that 10-year hiatus really does hurt his stock, if you ask me. I would have him higher, though. I would have him higher, ultimately. Now, when I look at some of the other people that are on here, he should be higher than a handful of these people.
Number 13, Triple H.
That's too low. That's too low. That's too low. Dude, Triple H ran the 2000s, and he runs the company. He literally basically is the reason NXT is a thing. You could make a case for Triple H being number one. Like if you want to include like all of the stuff that he did as an on-screen authority figure, there's
always a plan B,
right? There's a strong case for him being number one. This is diabolically low for Triple H.
I think what hurts Triple H, and I think a lot of wrestlers need to be careful of, is when they come back. That Brothers of Destruction versus DX match was pretty rough.
Yeah, they originally had Shawn Michaels in the top 5, and then they rewatched that and they're like, oh God.
Number 12, Brock Lesnar. Now here's a guy.
Here's a guy in Patrick Mahomes that's very Brock Lesnar like.
This is a guy that always is on and off. Hot and cold, dude. Was absent for the WWE a good time. Went out and become a UFC champion. I mean, I think Brock is a little low here, considering that you talked about it so many times to me. You taught me that his rise was meteoric, becoming a rookie, becoming a champion so quickly. I mean, they referenced that recently, I believe. Who are they referencing that with? They were like like Stephanie Marquette.
Yeah, Stephanie Marquette. Yeah. Well, Paul Heyman was talking to Breaker about like there was a rookie in 2002 that listened to everything that I said.
You drew the line to Stephanie Marquette and Brock Lesnar, so that's where I mean. So yeah, Brock Lesnar I do feel is a little low on this list to be at 12.
All right, who's above him?
No thoughts on Brock? You agree?
I kind of agree. I think that's a fine spot. Had he never left, he probably is number one. Right? Had he never,
I think that's a good factor here. Yeah.
Yeah. Had he never left, like he left for 8 years, And
After Goldberg and Mania,
yes,
yeah.
but people forget he left after 8 years after only having been in the WWE for 2. Like his meteoric rise, everything that he did in that initial Ruthless Aggression era run was 2 years. That's all it was. And then left for 8, and then he returns. Obviously, big deal, big money draw for WWE, but in a part-time basis. So I think this is a perfectly fair spot for Lesnar.
Number 11, Edge. On this day. Was the Lita in the 2000s, that Lita thing, that segment?
Yeah, that was a the live sex celebration. Imagine explaining that one to your parents.
Yes, walking in on that. The rated R superstar. I don't think his I think the only thing that I really do put against him is that the world's greatest match with Randy was atrociously bad.
I mean, Cena and AJ did it better. Because
Yes.
that's all that what match was, just different finishers.
Yes, agreed. But what do you think about Edge here, aka Adam Copeland?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, his contribution in the tag team division in the early 2000s.
His comebacks were really awesome, though.
Yeah,
they're special.
Yeah. Obviously, the 2020 return was great. He probably would be higher on this list, obviously, if it wasn't for the early retirement. I think this is a good spot for him. I would have had him over the guy at number 10. This is 10. Way too fucking high for number 10.
Daniel Bryan.
No way.
It seems like whoever put this list together loves stories, which is odd because they didn't even put Cody's story up high, but they definitely love stories because that's why Kofi Mania is there, right? Kofi Kingston. So Daniel Bryan went through the gauntlet of that, the entire thing with Triple H and the Authority. And I mean, that's the only reason all that existed. It was the Daniel Bryan movement. I think you have to give him points for that, for changing the Mania card for that year, literally wrestling twice at Mania 30, big thing as well. The only things that are odd for him is the ending after that. I mean, the Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt's kind of detour was weird for me. It didn't really vibe with me that much. But at the same time, I feel that my favorite run that no one really talks about is his eco-friendly.
A lot of people hated that run. I
love that run so much.
Yeah, everyone is fickle. No, this is definitely rose-tinted glasses. I love Daniel Bryan, and I think his run with the Yes Movement.
Team Hell No.
It was such lightning in a bottle, but it was so short-lived because of his injuries, his retirement. Even when he came back, they barely would use him. He was a general manager. The best stuff of Daniel Bryan was unfortunately so short-lived in the WWE. In fact, a lot of the time before Daniel Bryan really was able to take off in the Yes Movement was marred by bad booking and people saying, why don't we use this guy more? Why are we having him lose in 18 seconds at WrestleMania to Sheamus, right? You talk about somebody being, the victim of bad booking. Daniel Bryan was that for a really, really long time before the Yes Movement. Funny enough, the Yes Movement was driven by how poorly booked he was, and how he wasn't seen on the same level as some of these main event guys. But I think people remember this going on for way longer than it did. No, Daniel Bryan it was basically SummerSlam to WrestleMania, and then injury, retirement, done. It wasn't as long to have an impact to be top 10. I don't think so. But if we're talking, hang on, I want to clarify.
Sure.
I think he's the greatest wrestler on this list.
Worker.
I think he's the greatest worker on this list. Almost not even close. But WWE superstar, I don't even think Daniel Bryan would qualify himself as a WWE superstar. I think he just is. No, I was a wrestler the whole time. But as a WWE superstar, what this list is about, I wouldn't have Daniel Bryan this high.
At number 9, The Rock. Now, The Rock, the final boss, arguably one of the best heels of the 21st century. The final boss had something special. He was the Authority, the corporation, all rolled into one. The dude was the board, right? And he was a walking problem that no one knew how to solve and no one could stop because he was the final boss. The things that The Rock did on that build for WrestleMania 40 was insane. like the moment where SmackDown was like, dude, The Rock's gonna be there. You literally had to tune into every single SmackDown. It felt like we were back in the Attitude Era. Now, the reason why I think he's at 9 is because he didn't show up after that. He really derailed the John Cena heel turn. He derailed everything that happened. Him coming back for the Netflix Monday Night Raw, all that kind of stuff. And we were like, wait, who are you? The promo after Mania with Cody, and he was like, I'll be back. Sell your soul. All that stuff really hurt him on this list, in my opinion, because he was encroaching on some really good. And that's just the final boss, Santi. I know you're going to talk about Hollywood Rock 1.0.
Yeah. Well, we have to talk about Twice in a Lifetime. There was that.
Yeah.
That return, that run. That was that. You had to be there
Against John Cena. Everybody.
Yeah. You had to be there. It's tough to really like describe and put into words like how monumental that really was. Because The Rock already was the biggest thing in Hollywood at that time. He already was. Yes. So to have this guy still be in wrestling shape to take on the biggest guy in professional wrestling right now was crazy. His 2000s run, right? 2000, unfortunately, only to 2003. Perennial main eventer the entire time. WrestleMania main events there. The 2003 Hollywood Rock, I still think, is the greatest gimmick of all time. It is so incredibly good. They even reference it with the final boss with his entrance theme. It's Hollywood Rock's theme being remixed. I think part of the reason why he's as high as he is in the top 10 here, I gotta imagine, is the cultural impact of The Rock on WWE is bar none uncomparable to anybody else on this list. No one can compare to the cultural impact of The Rock that he's had on the WWE, even in his short appearances, his short stints in the last 20 years. It's just so...
I'll put him in top 5.
It's top 5 for you? I think top 10
He's top
for me.
5 for me. Yeah. He's top 5 for me, but I know why they put him at 9 is because I think, again, it's very important that you have legacy. You can't leave bad things on your way out the door. And The Rock, his performance as the final boss in this corporate Dwayne Johnson, just the press conferences, all that just make you go like, why? You know, when the final boss character was so good, why break kayfabe so hard?
I feel you.
Revealed this is just a character. I knew that the final boss was someone that could, highlight the craziness that's happening in the modern day wrestling.
Woohoo!
You know what? Wrestling doesn't have to have a feud doesn't have to end with a pro wrestling match. What are you talking about?
A restaurant doesn't have to serve food.
No,
it's about the experience.
It's about the experience. Number 8, Seth freaking Rollins. The workhorse of the WWE.
I might have him higher.
Been involved in a lot. Been involved in a lot. I don't know why they put him low. I can't figure out what's the hole in his game in the past 25 years of him being involved, especially when he's actually cooking in the WWE. I can't think of any issues. The dude is the architect. Did always plan B, involved in the biggest cash-ins of all time. I mean, how can you not have him any higher than 8?
He's the MVP, man. He's the MVP of the WWE since 2015. Even though WWE doesn't treat him like the MVP, right? That spot has gone to Roman.
He's the Jon Snow of that,
That's a great reference. Kind of looks like Jon Snow a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really. I think he should be higher on this list if you ask me personally. I think he should be literally like right beside Roman.
Agreed.
I feel like they are forever linked to each other. It should be Roman Seth or Seth Roman in whichever order you prefer to have them in.
They should have pulled a new He order and put him in the same line. No one would have been mad.
Fair enough.
No one would have been mad. At number 7, Kurt Angle.
Can you name me somebody that had a better 7-year run than Kurt in WWE?
Hogan?
Oh, gong, 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 gong,
No, I can't. No, like, again, this is another like byproduct of, Attitude Era hangover, where everyone's loving Kurt Angle in the Attitude Era. And then once the Stone Colds and the Rock leave, you're like, who was left? It was Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
Undertaker, and Kurt Angle. You were just
Carried
hoping
that
for.
shit.
Yeah, he definitely did, especially with all the banger matches that he did. But if this list had TNA Angle, he'd be way higher.
I agree. He would be way higher. Yeah, we're only talking about 7 years of Angle here, right? I don't think that the whole bum ass Corbin stuff particularly bumped him up in this list at all. I think he's number 7 because of the 7 years in WWE. Greatest rookie year in WWE history, if you ask me. The only problem with Kurt Angle is that he never got to win a Royal Rumble when he absolutely should have.
I agree. When you're watching all those Rumbles, it's always weird. I mean, remember he had a was he with tag team with Benoit? Am I misremembering that?
No, he was part of the SmackDown 6.
Okay, so in that Rumble,
Benoit.
him and Benoit are working well together, and then they just turn on each other. I think that was like the best shot for Angle to win.
Yeah.
But I will always feel that if you don't win a Rumble, there's something like missing from you, or the WWE didn't want to like push you forward. And it's interesting when you look at this list, a lot of them are Royal Rumble winners, believe it or not. Most of them are, if you really look at it. Next is
Nakamura.
No Nakamura. The Undertaker, which we just saw an Inferno match. If you want to check out the match club of Kane and the Undertaker, but 6 is kind of low for the Taker here.
He's a top 5, brother. He's a top 5.
I see the names above him, and Taker, dude. I only could think of. They probably had Taker high, and then they started thinking about the last portions of his career and started knocking him down. Didn't have a great Mania run with Roman. The Bray match was okay. I think if he would have passed, let me rephrase this. If the WWE let him pass the torch properly to a Bray Wyatt, then I think he'd be higher on this list. But he lingered around too long when he could have been gone sooner, and then I think the reverence would have been there for Taker to keep him up higher.
Yeah, I absolutely would have had him higher. He was one of the guys that carried WWE in his full-time run from 2000 to 2010. There every single week, carried SmackDown, carried WrestleManias. Absolutely, in my opinion, should be higher. Yes, in the 2010s, he kind of had like that part-time career, but a part-time career that in its first portions of it was still delivering heaters at WrestleMania, CM Punk, the end of an era, like the 2 Triple H
Prince
matches.
Albert and Big Show.
Of course, that's got to be up there, number 1, greatest Undertaker match of all time. What's the Undertaker series on Patreon? Taker should be higher on this list. 6 is too low, and at number 5, as you've already alluded, Chris Jericho should not be higher than the Undertaker.
I don't even know. Chris Jericho should be on this list, yes, but not above The Rock, not above Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins. I mean, sure, his last run in WWE was fun, but it was marred by bad booking because they never had that big payoff between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho that we were hoping for.
Like, dog, and Chris Jericho over Triple H? In what world? In what world in the last 25 years of the WWE over Triple H? No shot. No shot.
Was the writer part of the Jericho Appreciation Society?
Oh.
Huh? Hey, guys.
You're asking the real questions.
Jericho is coming back. And
he's so coming back.
I hope he makes a comeback at Saturday Night's Main Event.
That'd be cool.
Can you imagine if they did that? Beardo.
Come on.
Break the wall down.
Oh, wait, you want the immediate break the walls down? Because there's the version that goes, come on. You know I got you. Yeah. Now break the walls down.
And then it goes into Judas.
Oh. I become it.
You know, the rumor is that Jericho's on the way because no AEW stars on his cruise.
Oh.
They had AEW stars, and then all of a sudden, no AEW stars. I would never go on that cruise ever. At number 4, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio.
I mean, it's been weird.
I miss Rey. Rey's been gone for so long in wrestling that I feel like he's missing in the wrestling school. Like, he's our Hall of Famer of the WIC, and he's been gone for so long. But dude, Rey's Rey, man. If you look at all the match clubs and you're like, dude, this is a banger, that's a banger. No matter what era he's in, no matter what program he's in, it's Rey freaking Mysterio. And the reverence for Rey and winning that Rumble as well for Eddie was amazing. And then that short-lived championship holding and then John Cena taking it
I'll
away
say
from him.
this.
Yes.
Shouldn't be ahead of Taker.
Shouldn't be ahead of Taker. I agree with that. But I feel that Rey Mysterio, this is like a respect pick because he's still doing it.
Still kicking. He's still kicking.
He's still kicking, even though he's injured. He actually looks good with the colored, black colored goatee. Looks good. Looks young, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, looking great there, dude. A little bit of that color on that bad boy, but yeah, a little too high on this list. I mean, Ray and Chris should be lower than Taker. Taker should easily be top 3. But I understand why top 3 is Roman Reigns. Number 3 is Roman Reigns. The tribal chief just transcends a lot. Granted, the big dog was the manufactured rise. I think the tribal chief just made wrestling cool again in pop culture. I would always hold on to the story, Santi. I'm at Universal Studios and I'm walking around and I see people doing this, and immediately I do that too, and everyone's like, hell yeah, dude. Tribal chief, you're the part of the bloodline. Like I never ever had that since the DX chop when I was in middle school. Like that was the only time wrestling was at that peak.
Yeah, no disagreements. Roman should be here. I mean, we're talking about a guy that broke Hogan's record for most WrestleMania main events, and he did it all in 10 years. Like all of those main events have been in 10 years. It's difficult to find WrestleMania main events that don't include Roman Reigns in the past 10 years. So yeah, how can you not have this guy in the top 3?
And overcoming his illness, his cancer, all that stuff. You got to give it to good old Roman. Number 2, Randy Orton. I'll toss this one to you. Randy Orton at 2.
Sure. I mean, when it comes to WWE in the past 25 years, he's synonymous with the industry. He's synonymous with WWE. People call John Cena Mr. WWE. I dare say Mr. WWE is one Randall Keith Orton.
He never left.
Never left. He's still there. He's still a main eventer. He's still a main eventer. He will continue to increase his legacy. 14-time world champion. The guy that's right behind Cena. The only ones that are behind Cena are that are right there that are in the conversation are like Randy Orton, Triple H, and Ric Flair. Like those are insane names, right? And if you're in those names, you absolutely should be in the conversation for top 3. And Randy Orton, I think you could have done like Roman too, as well. But Randy has that longevity that Roman doesn't have. Randy was basically almost there for all 25 years since 2002.
He's my MVP of Royal Rumbles. Every time he shows up,
he's great.
He's great. Great. Number 1, it's your boy, the new John's
Morning Woods.
Hey, who wrote this? Oh, Austin Creed wrote this. Number 1, John Cena. That's high praise, brother. That's high praise for being
I would say
one.
I think he's number 1 because he's the face of this of the past 20 years.
2000, yeah.
Right. He was the face of the entire company, basically from 2005 to like 2017, like the guy. Even when they were still trying with Roman in like 2015, 2016, it was still all about like Cena. Like Cena was still the guy in the WWE, the most popular guy in the WWE. And when I look at this list, not even Stone Cold was able to be the guy for that long. The Rock didn't get to be the guy for that long. No, Hogan didn't get to be the guy for that long. No one has gotten to be the guy as long as John Cena got to be the guy. And if you're the guy for the majority of the past 25 years, which is when this list is designed for, then yeah, you're number 1. Just as simple as that. Like, I just don't think that there's much argument. I think you could certainly try and find holes in Cena's 12-year run at the top of the company, and there's plenty of them. There's things to dislike, things to not like. Yeah, there's absolutely lots of things to not like. It doesn't change the fact that he was the guy for the company.
That's a good point. Santi, quick new order. Are you down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Pumpkin out?
I'm not, dude. I'm in reverse pumpkin mode, right? Because I start out pumpkined and then I blossom.
You're waking up, dude. You're a Japanese pumpkin now.
Famous Japanese pumpkins.
Google that. What
Mhm.
are the famous Japanese pumpkins? Let me give you a
I
list.
know they're known for their grapes. They had big grapes in Japan. They're delicious grapes.
Japanese pumpkins. It's called kabocha. It's a winter squash. It's like a green pumpkin. Oh,
Interesting.
kabocha. Isn't kombucha good for you?
Isn't that kombucha? Isn't that
Oh, this is
different?
kombucha. I don't know. I don't work here.
Kombucha is something different.
I'm an idiot. Anyway, new heat order. This is the buzz. This is the excitement that we all build the list. It's been a while. It's been a while since we got together to do this together.
Kombucha is produced by symbiotic fermentation of sugar tea using the symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, commonly called a mother or mushroom. Gross. Ew. Who's drinking that?
Who's your number one new heat order going forward, my friend? Number one on the list that gets you hot. Is it Jey Uso as an infamous number one going forward? Is it Seth Rollins is it Braun Breaker? It should have been Braun Breaker,
It
but
should
you're
have
right.
been Braun
The
Breaker.
follow-up was blundered by
Yeah,
Monday's
it should have been Braun Breaker.
Should have been Braun Breaker.
Honestly, I think I'll go number one, Ilya Dragunov.
Oh, this is our list. It's not about who is the currently, it's about who has the buzz. And that dude had traps for days. Did you see him?
He's a beast, bro.
At number two, dare I say at number two, hear me out here. Hear me out. I know a lot happened on Monday night. Cody Rhodes.
Sure. I like it. Give me Cody.
Hey,
Give me Cody.
There we go. Dude, my favorite thing is that for my reviews, I just play the Guile theme when Cody Rhodes is cooking at the end. Number three. Any love for Tiffy, Stephanie Vaquette? Decent match with Roxy and Raquel. I'm glad that they're all three together. Nikki Bella coming out. You could look, but you can't touch. Hey, just to let you know, Stephanie Vaquette, there's gonna be people out there that are gonna get you. You need to be careful, watch your back, because you never know, Stephanie, who's gonna come after you. But I'm glad you and I are best friends, and I cannot wait for you to have my back because I have your back. I'm Nikki Bella, and I'm a friend.
Dude, it's so funny. That's exactly what I did. I made fun of that exact same thing. I was like, Stephanie, what I made fun of in the review was just like, I just think it's so weird that like Nikki's in the back. Like, I can't believe they attacked you. That's crazy. I got your back. Which, by the way, I just wanted to let you know how amazing of a champion you've been, how pretty you are. I really love your hair. I think that your makeup is amazing. I think that you're like the best thing in the world that's ever happened. I love you. Like, that was such a random fucking transition into that.
But that was a sick boot from Raquel, though. Depleted Nikki Bella. But no, hey, come on, Bobby,
All
cool.
Right, so number three.
Maybe Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, I'll take Drew. I'll take Drew.
Yeah.
Give me Drew.
Drew Mac, dude, making a return. Number four. Any love for people that are gone? Seth Rollins, Jacob Fatu.
I think love for both of them. I think that Seth Rollins, I think, is a good fit here. You know,
all right,
he wasn't on the show, but obviously we're talking about him heavily. And then immediately Jacob Fatu as well.
Okay. Apparently that there is breaks in that. He's gonna hurt me, isn't he? Yeah. He's standing right behind me.
He's standing right behind me.
Number six. I kind of want to put excuse me, Sami Zayn here.
Sure. I like that. Any love for AJ Lee? The tag team champions?
Oh, I thought you meant AJ Lee.
Nah, AJ Lee, the tag team champions. Hell of a match. Maybe a revive of the tag team division.
No. Once you win, you're on ice. Congratulations.
How about Dominic Mysterio right now? The pops this man is getting.
Dirty Dom. Dude, I love the bell spot. The bell hammer spot was so good. And then you know what works well is when he gets like caught and then he always has like an answer follow up to it.
He's plan B.
Yeah, dude. But I can't wait till you get to like plan D, you know? Santi, can you wait for
I'll give you plan D. D's nuts.
Number 8. It's interesting that they're toying Roxy and him again, right?
Yeah, well, I pointed that out. I'm like, I think they know Liv Morgan is
right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Yeah.
Number 8. It's a weird because you've been gone for a while, but it's been a weird part for WWE, you know. There's no like clear outliers in my mind. You could pick any of these, and I'd be like, yeah, I hear you at number one. Any Jey Uso at 8?
Yeah, I think
Come
here
on.
we can go Jey Uso. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think here we should go Jey.
Blue Jey Uso.
Hey.
Hey, Dodgers in 4. Number 9.
Dude, they said that about the Warriors. I'm just saying they said it about the Warriors and they lost in 6.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Just saying.
oh,
Oh.
You know, we haven't talked about the Cowboys, baby. Woo! Number 1 offense in the NFL.
I'm on to baseball, man. I'm on to baseball.
Cooking. Oh, okay.
I'm
That's
on to
right.
baseball.
I can't touch you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on
You're
to
playing a
baseball.
different game right now. You
Yep.
know what I mean? You're not even queued up in Fortnite lobbies. You're out there playing Battlefield 6. Number 9. Any love for Tiffy, Stephanie Vaquette, any of the ladies? Charlotte and Alexa had a decent defense. Any like Zelina?
They barely appeared on the show.
Yeah, but they had a cool vignette.
They did have a cool vignette. They had a
little
snake.
the white snake and that little fireball. Did you show that?
And he said, "My wife."
My wife. At number 10. How about that? Number 10. Number 10.
Yeah, I'll take it at number 10.
Yeah, all right. Zelina Vega. I'm glad that we're no longer gonna have to hear her theme for a while.
Maxine Dupree, do you want to maybe give her some love?
Dude, that match didn't do anything for me though.
It didn't do anything for me either.
Last week was a better match, and she was in her hometown. She didn't get any love because they probably didn't really know that she was from.
Do we want to hear then put Braun Breaker?
Yeah, we could put Braun Breaker. I do have an honorable mention for Becky Lynch for her promo against.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy that Braun Breaker, they did not follow that up well.
He looked like $1 million though when he walked out there. I was like, ooh. He showed up in the car. You notice how he drove with the belt in front of his face?
Yeah, that's unsafe.
That's how.
That is not safe. Don't do that, guys.
Considering the impact that the belt could do, it'll knock you out for more than 3 seconds.
Knock you the fuck out.
Here you go. Here's your new heat order for the new heat order stands. Number 10, Zelina and Aleister Black. Number 9, Braun Breaker. Number 8, Jey Uso or Blue Jey Uso. Number 7, Dominic Mysterio. Number 6 is Sami Zayn. Number 5, Jacob Fatu. Number 4, Seth Rollins. Number 3, Drew Mac. Number 2, Cody Rhodes. Number 1, Ilya. Dude, somebody should Photoshop Jey Uso in a Blue Jays outfit and call it Blue Jey Uso. Come on.
Dude, that's actually awesome. If I show up to World Series in a full Yeet shirt, but like, customized with the Blue Jays with a Blue Jay hat.
Woo!
Oh, man. Main event, Blue Jey Uso. It's now in your city.
You should throw out the first pitch with the Blue Jays. Come on, dude.
I really should. I agree.
TKO. Make that happen, brother.
Wait, hold on. Is that my brother over there really mad at me? All right, folks. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. And a special extra thank you goes out to our $15 patrons. We're going to be hanging out with them soon to watch See No Evil starring Kane. So a special shout out goes out to Chargers are posers and frauds. Listen, we have a paper thin O-line. We're on like 5th stringers, all right? 3 weeks gone and still no NXT hot takes pussy. 4 letters, 1 word, Ryan, hashtag free Ryan. Aiden S, Abreem Zuda, Alex Regal, Alex, Alfie the Chosen One, Alfie Walfi, American Nightmare, Cody Lander, Antonio Arjona, Antony, Arctic Wolf, Ariel Pacheco, Arrogance, Ashley, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Hoagland, Ao Carr, Bailey Saunders, Beans, B Hostile, Bing Bong Wepa, Blenda, Black Lesnar, Blue Cord, Bluefish, Boymal, Bradley, Braden Primo, Brady Keaton, Brody Cyphers, Brian Gallardo, Caleb Parker, Cameron Warren, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, CB, Chimchar Collectibles, Chris Butner, Lucas, Christian Anderson, Chucky Gonzalez, Clay, Colby Mayo, Corey King, Dalton Dunbar, Dan Schuberth, Derek Barnhart, Diego Villeda, Digi316, D Lopez, don't forget the hyphen Santi and San, Dylan, Sean, Egg Toast, El Hijo del Dr. Jelly Roll Jr., El Juan de Americano, El Joshi, Eric Ruiz, Romero, Aaron Thorne, Ethan Domingue, ISATS, the Chargers O-line are terrorists, 5 Knuckle, RKO, Fletcher Walpole, FMFCMA, Freezer, Fugnux, Gabriel Meza, Garrett Woods, Gilbert Deans, Go Blue Jays, Governor, GXA Man, Heath Robertson. I turned heel on my mom. I'm Rick James, bitch. Ian McNugget. I'm laughing at the turning heel on my
Yeah,
mom.
me too. Me too.
Bug out!
My God, that's your mother.
I'm Braun Strowman, Imposter Sancho. It's Mista, it's Astro Kid, J.E., Jack Harris, Jackson Parrish, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jake Chavoya, Jared Hernandez, Jared Leverdour, Jason De Dios, Jason Flint, Jason Vane, Javier Rodriguez, Jax Teller, J.S. Cal, Javion McDuffie, JC Worley, Jelly Goose, Lesnar Roll, Jelly Roll, Jeremiah Finley, Jeremiah Kelly, Jahihi Ahihi, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Jonathan Cox, Johnny Owens, Jordan Lynch, Jaws B, Joshua Kane, Juliana Sarfi, Justin Brooks, Justin Herbert is overrated, Justin Perkins, Caleb Martin, Karrion Cross, Ask Me, ESPN Plus or Dinner with Jay-Z, Ken Yu, Kevin Bega, Keon P, Kuwaiti Rick Boogs, Liam, Lil Shifu, Lachlan, Look, It's Pac-Man, Wepa, Luis Jimenez, Majed, Mark, Marnie YCSM, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Mossy, Mayhem, Matthew, Mackay, Meredith Lee, Michael Paz, Michael Tervino, Michael Vera, Michelle McCool replaced my username, Miguel Paredes, Mitchell X, Muhammad H. Ahmed, Muhammad Al-Banai, it's a Muhammad party in here, Nathan Tully, Nicholas Kyle, Nick Bushkis, Nahilis, NyQuil Pad, Noah Booth, Obafemi for US champ, not IC champ, Obi Nobi, oil.
Get wrecked, you bums. Oh, but no.
Wait, what did you say?
I said that he should be an IC title.
Oh, I thought you said go wreck your bums. I'm like, ew. Sancho.
Watch Jay since you've been gone.
Just a ton of Taco Bell will wreck your bum. Yeah, go ahead. Oil Up Now, Zati 69.
Yeah, where's Austin Theory at, dude?
Who the hell knows? Who cares? That's the real answer. Oscar Ruiz, Papa Bear 26, Pat R, Pat Mick, Mark Frody, Prince Vegeta, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Rashad Walton, Reaper God, Rick Mar 1R, Ricky Dutcher, Royce Ruffo, Ruben Sanchez, Ryan Spradley, Riley, Sadie Brinks, Alguero. Sancho doesn't get a safe space. Sancho's #1 fan. Santi has a gay beard. Wow. What do you want me to do with that? How do I reply to that?
Maybe it means happy.
It could be. Santi Oil Up for Cena retirement match. Santi Flatline Zap. Santi Custom Game. Santi Tribal Chief Gibby Fresh. Sauce God. Saudi Rig Boog. Savage Field. Semba. Shaggy WWE. Shane Shocks. Sip God. Sir Nightmare. Slime Manny 00. Slow Toke Rodriguez. Stevo Lentils. Super Malachi Galaxy. Team Ryan over Team Santi. You spelled Ryan wrong, you fucking idiot. Who spells Ryan R-I-A-N? What a dumb way to spell it. Vanilla Joe Rilla, the LA Knight Mega Glazer, Jacob Kufis, the final boss, Bloodline Rules, Theo Perdios, the Wepa Warrior Bing Bong, Tim Higgins, Toasty, Tobias Burnett, Tom Lehman, Trent Head, Trevor Harder, Tribal Chief Joshua Uso, Put Sancho on the thumbnail, Tycho, Tyler Logan, Unknown Zero, Vegan Penguin, Venom, Verzo, Void Z, Juan Pablo III, White Mexican, William Newton, Zach Smira, YM Cab, Yo Girls Side, Zach Griffin, Zacharias Cox, Zay2K needs Santi to oil up, Zeke loves Zergzito, and Lord BBNJ. Thank you guys very much for watching this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and be wonderful people. Goodbye, everybody. It's good to be back. Cheers, everybody.